And we're back with another War Tactics Hot Friday hobby stream. And we're here with my boy Nick. So
What's up,
Nick is the
guys?
guy who painted most of my speed WAAAGH. He's a fun, awesome painter. He really appreciates orcs, and how we actually met was he was painting up some commandos. So he's gonna be here painting on stream. We actually got our first ever hobby camera as well. I also have our pictures for our Discord that we always share, and we're going to talk about the points, right? We're going to talk about the point changes, some of the things that came up with the orcs, and I also have the what we call the Codex, and you guys would actually be able to see that as well. So if we have to look at anything, I can actually pull it up, and we can take a direct look at any rules or data sheets that you guys directly want to see. So yeah, I have that open. I have our hobby pictures open, and we have a straight up paint camera. So let's get into it. The orcs got a point change, and it wasn't so drastic that it hurt everybody's feelings. So for the most part, what I found the most interesting was the mech gun lost 5 points, the knobs lost 5 points, the beast boss on foot lost his points, and back to 80 points. And the Squig Hog boys are just exactly where I wanted them to be. David's over here in the corner too, but I was talking to David, and I told him the only place I'd want to see Squigs is 160 points. And I think that's fair. I think that's where we want them so they can be played, because like we have somebody in the chat said, the Squigs themselves are drastically less killy because they lost the +1 to hit. And they're also not getting sustained in the other detachments for the most part. I know in the hunt you could do things, stuff like that, but for the most part, they're not going to hit as hard because it's just the mounts hitting on 4s instead of 3s is huge. Hitting on 2s is amazing with sustain. So I'm somewhere like, yeah, I can totally see them still being used, and I like them, but I still like them in the index attachment. The Beast Boss being 80 points, so 20 points lower than he used to be, is awesome. And then mech guns losing some of their cost is great too, because I want to include more mech guns. I want to include maybe a whole 3-man unit with tractor cannons. That's where I really see myself using them, because if you ever go into a Primarch or Tau or Drakari or just anything that flies, I would consider even putting them in reserve and then just bring them on my table edge so I can get line of sight on what I want to hit. Especially if you're running a dread mob, then you get sustain on that. So there is actually relevance to them being cheaper, and I really appreciate it. So I feel like there's a lot of things we should be excited about as orc players. There's almost virtually nothing that has gone wrong other than the loss of the Grot tanks. So I know some of you guys are like, oh my God, we lost Grot tanks. It's very disappointing. And I agree. It's disappointing because it was a really appealing data sheet for the Dread Mob in a powerful way. Like, for the most part, everybody was like, I'm actually going to be able to just shoot people off the table, contend with my friends, shoot away Necron's Hypercrypt, stuff like that. And it's true. I like that too. But they're gone. So if you're playing casually with your homies, I think maybe talk to them, especially if they have a really strong faction, and say, hey, me, I'll bring one unit, whatever. And Legends, guys, that doesn't mean they're gone forever. It just means that as the edition goes 2 years from now, their rules will still be unchanged, while other rules could be modified, changed, updated, etc. The stuff in Legends will remain the same. So I still think, hey, if you're playing with your homies and you already have them and they're painted up, just play them. Just talk to him. As long as he has the tools to deal with them and you don't like bring 24, you'll still have a good time. What I would say is also the flash gits coming down 15 points. I actually like that. They're pretty much a knob profile. They're still literally leaderless, and they get no keywords to appreciate any of the detachments. So GW seemed like they were a little lost with them. I really appreciated the 15 points decrease on that. As for Mazrog being down 30, and the Beast Boss and Swigosaur being down, I think how many Beast Boss and Swigosaur was down too? Yeah, he's down 35. That's nice. I still bring Maz, but I really find him more appealing in the hunt. He lost a crit 5 to wound, so the devastatings are harder to get off. But in a world full of damage reduction and feel no pains, being able to bring Maz for his awesome damage capabilities still can feel good. Remember, he can still be reserved and then brought back on the table. Or sorry, he could be picked up from the hunt if you're running that, like at a 1K game. And last but certainly not least is the Big Mech and Mega Armor going up 15 points. Now, I actually don't like that. As I'm sure nobody likes point increase, but what I mean is I don't like that is I'm considering not bringing him literally for that reason. you'd have to bring back roughly 4 Mega Knobs or heal or pick up 3 and then heal 1 who's about to die to get like the same exchange value there. So the only place I can see myself running the Big Mech and Mega Armor now is in Ruckus Warcaller in Green Tide. So that's probably more likely where I'd bring him. So with chat right now, you guys just hit me up in chat right now, and I'm reading the chats and going along with this. So I'm gonna start up with he says only 2 complaints about the points for Ork. Stompa still 800. Why? It's almost like they want to keep it unplayable. 600 seems more like it, and I would risk even lower if needed. I have to actually disagree. I know you guys don't want to hear me before you unclick, dislike, and try to chop my head off and knock my teeth out. I disagree because you got to remember there's some psychos out there, Kevin Leonard, that will actually run 2 Stompas even at 800 points right now. And at 600 points, now you're actually cooking with fire and abusing people. I've been actually playing with the Stompa, so I'm not even just theory hammering here. There are some armies that if they have enough firepower, let's say you're playing your homie and he knows you're bringing the Stompa, and he's like, I bring all my last cannons and eradicators. Okay, then yeah, of course you're going to get killed. But if it's just a straight up open playing field where anything can happen, anybody can play, they really might not be able to kill the Stompa, even at 800 points. And it's up to you as an Ork player to kind of stop it, right? So I was playing the Stompa, played him twice into like moderately good, durable lists in different ways. One of them had a bunch of different monsters and vehicles. The other one had a bunch of this Space Wolf Cavalry and some other games that I've had with them. But those were the 2 huge dynamics where I had vehicles and monsters I could shoot, and then the other one I had nothing but vehicles and monsters I could shoot. I'm running big shells for bigger gits as rules as intended, meaning I'm not using it against. I'm not giving myself +1 to wound, +1 damage against just anything on the field, which some people think that's how it's read raw. So I'm running it as how it's intended because I play with people I actually like, so I don't want to just shoot them off the table so easily. And I still felt like he was devastating. Thunderbolt Cavalry with -1 to hit, -1 to wound. I was still picking up most of the unit with rolling below average. In melee, when you can just have the walker go up to +2 strength, +1 damage because it's a walker. Now the Stompa is strength 13 or on the Waaagh and strength 12. Normally, you have strength 12, 18 punching, anything that's, T6 or lower on 2s with straight damage 4. So that's just with your sweep. So Stompa goes hard. Stompa goes super hard. If you put it down to 600 points, you would abuse people, and he'd be easy to abuse, and you'd bring 2, you'd bring 3. And I can see Stephen Goodrich. I've seen 2 Stompas at 3 GTs this year. So imagine if you're going to see Stompas now, you're going to see 2 of them now. 2 Stompas is actually playable. When I ran my Stompa list, I've been modifying it slowly because I was like, look, I need to be able to play the middle since I can barely move, and I need to be able to stop people from getting into Stompa range with charges, with mortals, with dev wounds, with grenades. So what I use is I use Mega Knobs on the wall turn some of the times, or I use the big brick of 20 boys to disembark from the Stompa and charge into the middle. That way I take advantage of the sticky 2, and I have that objective, and I go, hey, now you have to come out and play because I got Stompas here. I got Mega Knobs here. I got boys here. And people do have to come out and contest with you. And the other unit of Mega Knobs, the Grots, the Storm Boys can either play the other missions. I still have Snick Rat, so Snick Rat also helps you kind of block people from getting into Stompa range or just scoring. So that being said, I think the Stompa can be abused if they go down more. GW is being a little too cautious. I think at 750, just to offset the mech cost, I would have felt really good because you're really paying 845 because you need the mech to be hitting on 4s to really get the value out of the Stompa. I can see people bring him 2. So shout out to Kevin. He's already picked up another Stompa, and me and him are going to start running them at RTTs. We'll take turns and such like that since he has one, I have one, and it'll be hilarious. So could be a real deal. But he also said 2 squigs at 320. Sure. More wounds. Actually, not, but they lost -1 to hit. I think that's a big deal. I can see myself bringing squigs still in Bully Boys and Index Horde. That's where I think I'm more likely going to see them right now. And then I see Soup got my Codex and data cards early. No big deal. I really like the data cards, dude. I like that they have the Combat Patrol integrated in there. They get the little gold trim. They look pretty neat. I'd say the print's a little tiny, but other than that, they're really good. They felt really durable. I like that. Where's the like gets? Oh, thank you, Aaron. I appreciate you like always. Wait, I think we got a super chat in here. Hold on. Someone just super chatted. Yeah, the Fighting Fedora. The Red Gobble ruled the sands of Gorka Morka with sail-powered buggies and crumped them filthy boys with the bow and arrow. The revolution does not need tanks. Does it need killicans? Huh? I think the Great Revolution can use killicans. After playing with the +2 strength, +1 damage. Ooh, strength damage 4 can punches. Can you guys feel that? Do you guys like that? I think you guys should like that. So I think Revolution's going to be running hecka tanks all over the place.
Also, I just wanted to remind that we did have the 2K giveaway winners, and Fighting Fedora, you were one of them.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah. Good
if
shot.
you could contact us at our email so we can get you that prize.
Yeah, Fighting Fedora. You got a shirt. I think someone also wanted to give him one, right? J. Hugh actually gave you his winning shirt, Fighting Fedora. So thank you, J. Hugh, because I know you're going to be out here sometime or you're always around. He gave you his donation because he already bought a shirt. So he wanted. Now we do have the 3K raffle coming up, David, because we're already at 2,500. So at 3K, guys, we have Combat Patrol to raffle off for that one, huh, David?
Yes, sir.
So stick around for that, guys. That's for the Patreon member. Well, we're gonna have one for the Patreon members and one for the YouTube members. Two different raffles. Yeah, that way the Patreon members can get some love because we've been slacking for the Patreon people. You guys got to get your just dues. So shout out to you, Holly. Thank you very much for the super chat. Very awesome. Thank you, Fighting Fedora, man. Hopefully the missus doesn't crump you again. He said, love some Wall Street. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Don't worry, I have the pictures too. I just want to get caught up in some chats because I was ranting about the points real quick. No, there's no other Arab Orks right now. How does this shirt fit? It fits a little small, little tight, little snug. I like to show off my pecs and my nipples, so I make sure the shirt's a little small. All right? Just messing with you. But they do run a little small, so I'd say get it bigger. Like if you're going to wear an XL, maybe a double XL just for the heck of it. So they do fit small. Yeah, Devin Rogers, they fit small. So let's see. You want Squigs to get a point cost? I think we got to run them and see if they get a point cost before we can overestimate because it is thickness. It is feel no pains. Feel no pains can swing games. You can stack the feel no pains of the Squig Hog boys and the Mega Knobs and other stuff on the Ork data sheet. So it might be crazy, right? Imagine Squig Hog boys plus Mega Knobs plus maybe Pain Boy with Ork boys and Bully boys. And then you still have Gaz. I mean, that's still obnoxious. The Gaz lethals will help kind of offset their weakened +1 to hit. So we just got to run them and feel them how they are. I think we're on. Am I wrong, David?
No, I agree with you.
And we do have Chris Angel here. Chris Angel, what's up? So how do you feel, Chris Angel, about the new someone called you Chris Angel in chat, so we're just gonna call you that for now.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
So if you talk good, I might get close. Yeah. So what do you know and feel about the Ork Codex? Are you ready? What would you run? Mob of Boys, Dread Mom, a bunch of knobs. Because I mean, when we first met, you had a bunch of commandos.
Yeah, and
I
was
20 before I had 0.
Yeah, and I'm digging those new models, and I watched your pod with the commandos with the Death Dread.
Dude, yes,
I'd probably run that.
Yeah, okay.
It's pretty cool.
And I think commandos are still a little okay. I'm gonna do a tier list video. Shout out.
Snickrot's my boy.
Shout out to Eric Forsman. We're gonna have Eric Forsman from Team America for our tier list video. So he's the first lineup team national team America player. So me and him linked up. We talked. We played a game before. I'm gonna have him on here because I want to hear his competitive aspect, and then I'm gonna have my twist of understanding casually and competitive. So we'll see how much we disagree. But right off the bat, I'm gonna say I've seen some interesting lists where people brought commandos because they understood that they now get 2 WAAAGHs in the Bully Boys, and they think I'm gonna bog people down with commandos turn 1 with 20 of them. Now the thing about that is that's super expensive to do that as a 20-man unit of boys. Is cheap, and the big unit of Mandos is 135. So it feels horrible, but that turn 1 staging, pressure, placing while your knobs and everything moves up the table might be real, or might be obnoxious, or might just be a joke, right? Because you can still go second and then get off a shot off the table. So we'll have to see how commandos look, and Nick's trying to figure out our camera. This is our first time with the hobby camera.
It was all upside down.
Yeah. Oh, it was?
It's David's fault.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah. He said, advertising, trucks and teeth. Hold on. For now, how about we go into some of the hobby pictures real quick? while Nick pre-adjusts that pain boy. See how he looks in a little bit when he's done with the pain boy, the green skin. So he's helping me get the pain boy ready. This is obviously in regards to the green tide. You're going to see him do 2 pain boys, a war boss, and a Gorkanot if we get time. As we're over here getting ready for the rise of the green tide as well. Let's go. So let's see what some of you guys. Whoa, we got a bunch of walls. Whoa. He said a bunch of people gave me thumbs down. Oh yeah, but they thought I was making up the leaks and then I wasn't. I know. Quackmaster, oh right here. I'm sad about the grotto. The revolution is wounded.
Yeah, I know that's very unfortunate for a lot of people because a lot of people just got their grottings like days before all this. So I don't know. I wish there was some way that people could know beforehand and not invest money in these models and then not even be able to use them.
Yeah, because I actually agree with them getting rid of Forge World stuff, to be honest. I think getting rid of Forge World stuff is totally fine. It's that they gave nobody a heads up and people seen a codex, thought maybe I can get rules for this and I'm going to be able to play this stuff. Art of War did it themselves. And I personally just don't like that we lost our reactive move. I'm just going to be straight up. The reactive move is something that we don't get a lot of, and the fact that we get one of those in a data sheet felt really fun, really good.
What I would have appreciated from DW is just taking them off the store.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think people said they're still in the store, dude.
Huh?
I think
still in the store.
I think people said they're still in the store. I don't know about now, but when they announced it, yes.
I mean, you can use them in casual play, but I mean, how many people does that really apply to?
Yeah, I'm just saying. Also, we have the detachment enhancements here too, guys. So we got all the rules up to go. We got 30 plus pictures from the hobby pictures. This is an excellent gas, by the way. I didn't forget about this hobby picture. If you're not looking at it, we're gonna have 30 plus pictures. We have the PDF for the entire codex right here, so everybody can see visually if you have any questions about rules. So we're here for the whole thing. It's about talking to you guys, getting a gauge. What I like to do is get an understanding of the community and what the orcs are looking at, because just talking about the most competitive stuff is not only boring and redundant as it's everywhere else in the world, but I think orc players care a lot more than that. I think we care about being, good enough to play everything, and but not really a chase the meta, right? You want to know how to use your stuff competently. That's the word I was looking for. Sorry with those ums. You want to learn how to play your army competently to its optimal efficiency, but with the stuff you own. You don't want to go out and re-hobby, re-kit bash just to chase a meta, and that's why I want to see what you guys got to say. So ask me any questions. I'm down to go down most rabbit holes other than soup being cereal. Okay, I'm not going down that rabbit hole, Mr. 2, wherever you are out there in the world. All right. So as for this gas, this is freaking excellent. And the person that sent these pictures in, you sent a lot of good pictures in. I would say a lot of you guys that sent me the pictures in this hobby stream, you guys really did a great job by getting these nice, really good detailed pictures, as it made the presentation a lot easier and stuff. So let's get into it. I also think the Warhorde is powerful, just so you guys know. I'm just going to say it right now if you guys want to argue about it. Warhorde's going to be powerful even now with the data sheet changes. I don't think Mega Knobs need to go up that much in points. Starting off at 5 points would feel fine. Not having a lot of attacks is definitely a factor. Now, as for flash gits, I like it right here. So Paul Savage said, do you think flash gits are the best shooting unit? Maybe SWAT team them in trucks with a mech and a 5-man knobs. Now, this actually isn't bad at all. At all. That's exactly how I was thinking about how you would run them. Now, the mech might not actually gain his value because the flash gets already cheap as it is. If you could just get a 10-man unit, that might just be worth it instead of trying to get up to a mech. But if you have leftover that points, possibly. What it is yes, they're a very viable SWAT team member now. Flash gets in there with 5 knobs and a war boss. You can get out, you can shoot on the wall. They can run up and get in a fight. They have a knob profile, so they don't just fall over. As for Ludas, if you're running a dread mob, I mean, nobody brought it up, but Ludas are also highly viable, but it really comes down to what terrain you're playing on, what your local meta looks like. If you can gain line of sight, if you can get plunging fire, if you're in dread mob. If you're in dread mob, Ludas shoot better on paper anyways, because you can get sustained if you have a mech or a shock attack gun in your unit. You can get lethal. You obviously reroll from the objectives. It helps offset the 6s, especially with sustain. And if you can just stand still, you can hit on 5s. That feels great. But I would say generally, just straight up out the box, data sheet per data sheet, without committing a bunch of points and investments and combos and playing one detachment. Yeah, flash kits are better shooters. Lethal always feels good. Damage 2 will feel good. And the fact that they have 4 base attacks, guys, at strength 5 is nothing to scoff at any points. That's actually a really nice skirmish unit because for 80 points, they can run up, they can shoot a screen away, they can charge a screen away. They're tough enough to maybe tag something and survive because there's 2 wounds a pop if it does 1 damage. So no, I'm definitely down. And what I like is that they're a weird point cost, or if you're over by 5 points, blah, 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 you got 80 points that you can mess with, right? An 80-point unit. The fact that we have a bunch of different units that are like different point costs that we could try to fit and plug and play, like 2 mega knobs, 60 points. 1 unit of burners, 60 points. Or 65. I think it's 60 points. 1 unit of flash ludas, 50 points. Grots, 40 points. Like a bunch of different armies don't have that flexibility within 5 to 10 points of each other. So I do like that flash kits are 80 points. That way, if you're over with your 80, 85, then you're good. So drop to flash kits and they feel really nice. I think they're great. For their data sheet. For data sheet, I could see them being in a Bully Boys detachment. Yeah, I can see them being a Bully Boys detachment, so you have some shooting away and some screening skirmish, but you still have that decent profile. Index, anything's gonna be fine. But yeah, I'm hyped about flash kits still. Like, I can still find a reason to bring my 5-man units, I think. No, David? What do you think for 80 points?
I think that's just a good value for a skirmish unit. There's a lot of armies that have these type of units that either like scouts that pop out and pop in from the corners just to score points. You don't want to invest a lot of points to go deal with that threat, or not threat, but scoring threat. And 80 points, or your Burning Boy 60 points. Like, you can bring a combination that's going to be suited for multiple types of units that you might want to not want to spend too many points going after.
You don't get good, obviously you don't get rerolls, such like that, but the fact that you're strength 6 means all the toughness 3 models are getting wounded on 2s. That's a good break point. You can chip stuff, and you actually have lethal. So I'm totally into that. Flash kits are where it's at. If you have 80 points, plug them in. And this gas looks awesome as well. We have these pain boys. Again, we just moved up into another hobby picture. Pain boys and a pain boss. Great job on the teeth. I love the olivey skin. Nick, what are you doing about olivey skin compared to the grout? Let's say the grout on the shoulder, right?
Yep.
How do you feel in regards to olive skin to green skin, and how do you like it? I'll just start first so you people know where I stand. I like green skin, right? I mean, when I ask you to paint my stuff, I always ask you to paint it kind of bright and gray.
Yeah, I try, man. I'm more on like the dull side.
But you like that.
painting.
So you favor like the dark olivey color too, like kind of like this? Is this kind of more your style?
The one on the right for sure. Yeah.
Okay, so this is more your understanding of orcs too. I think this fits a little more suitable to the lore, no? Like
I like purple orcs, but
oh, that's true.
I've never seen one.
You never seen one. Hey, that's what I'm talking about right here. Oh, I know he said Chris Angel understands the true power of blood axes. Nick Rotz loves Nick Rotz life. Yeah, he does. You just heard him say purple. But you're right. He really does understand the power of the blood axes. Ooh, okay, G Vento. I got something for you. He says, help me understand the kill rig viability outside of the wall. The big hunt, detachment. Thanks. Okay, so there's a couple things we can go into about the kill rig. None of them are super overwhelming. It's more about how it builds up. But first let me hit these super chats, and then I'll get back to you, Gento, because I think a lot of people need to hear this, and I do love my kill rig. So we have Murder Ork Tank Commander. He says, this is for the great community. Whoa! Pardon the intervention banter earlier. Use the best box. Whoa! For the $20 super chat. Greatly appreciate it. That's very generous of you, Murder the Ork. He thinks, and I'm pretty sure we have some of your hobby pictures on here as well, because you guys send them to me. So if you want me to get your pictures, you got to DM me. I put it out for announcements. Dude, you don't have to be an amazing painter. God's here. I appreciate you just for doing the hobby, and it's a part of the community. So show what you got, because what if 6 months from now you've increased and I can reflect that and I remember that? You know what I'm saying? So don't be shy. Murder Orky Commander, I'm pretty sure he's pretty new from what he's told me, and he sent his models in. At some point you'll see him on the slide. I'm not sure where they are. But thank you very much. Very generous. That's a big deal. Thank you very much. And we have another super chat. And thank you for saying the community is great. I think our community is very pleasant. I love the flexibility of everybody being very competent players, but then being open to every data sheet in the book. Like, people don't really care what's the most competitive. They'll talk about it. They'll be aware of it, but everybody wants to use everything else. That's why I'm even aware of the Flash Gits and the Ludus conversation, because people wanted to make it an interesting SWAT team combo. So that's what I think is cool. David, our hot dog sandwiches. All right, there's 3 of us here, so we're gonna be able to have we're gonna be able to do a proper vote. Our hot dog sandwiches. So starting with David, because I like sandwiches.
All right, so for a sandwich, you need 2 pieces of bread and some sort of meat in the middle, right?
It
doesn't even have to be meat.
Guys, I'm Googling what a sandwich is. I don't know. This is how serious I'm taking this.
I'm going to go with the long sandwich.
I think man, I'm not going to say it.
Nick, a beef sandwich is a sandwich.
Yeah.
So that means a hot dog should be a sandwich.
It's actually true based off
because of beef sandwich.
Based off the definition, guys. And you're right. How dare you use a beef sandwich as an example in a little term? You're right. He says, so sandwich, guys, noun. An item consisting of 2 pieces of bread with meat, cheese, or other filling between them, eaten as a light meal. All right, Google, I guess you win again. Yes, Fedora, it is a sandwich, but cereal is not soup. Mr. 2, I will never concede that. Fight me. All right.
Is a squig between 2 pieces of bread a sandwich?
Yeah, of course, it is a squid sandwich. Why would that not be? Okay, so now back to the kill rig question. So kill rig is a multi-phase model, my boys. Well, you need to understand a lot of different armies, especially elite ones, they look for tools like this because multi-phase models means you can get the most points out of them, but a little at a time. So, for example, it's a transport, so it assists with the movement phase, right? It can move stuff around the battlefield safely. 2, in the shooting phase, it has an auto-hitting las cannon and other small arms fire and decent firepower to put the enemy at a threat range as somewhat as a threat outside of our typical charge range. Auto-hitting las cannons is freaking sick. Being able to deal with transports like rhinos and stuff will make you feel good. You can stack that with Squig Hog Boy's bomb squig, so you can actually pop something, right? So that feels amazing, like a rhino. Another thing is they give a buff in the fight phase that's 12 inches away. That means you can still be behind a piece of terrain and buff a unit that's standing on an objective. Now, we had this fella on here, Steven Peterson? Pampreen. Sorry, I'd be messing up people's names. Sorry, guys. Steven Pampreen is also in our Discord, right? And he won a GT going 5-0, running 60 Ork Boys, 2 kill rigs, and 2 battle wagons. And he says straight up in our how to use a boy mod video, he says, I stacked the +1 strength or just got lucky by getting lethals with my boys unit, and it allowed me to punch up into so many different things with just pure volume. So it breaks thresholds for Ork Boys and other stuff. Let's say even an ob unit that's having a hard time in your meta getting to strength 12 or anything like that. Kill rigs allow you to push the Ork strength capability, and getting lethal always feels amazing, my git. Always, especially if you're running the just beast snagger boys, let's say that, and they get reroll hits and you accidentally rolled 6 to lethals, it feels great. And then last but not least, they fight moderately well. I would say definitely in the hunt they're more appealing for that, but the fact that you can charge them to an objective and have good OC will feel good for you as a player. So it's about using them in all of those assets and facets. Sometimes you really might just hide it behind a piece of terrain and give someone 12 inches away +1 strength. Sometimes you might run it off the end of the table, take a couple las cannon shots, you'll survive, but you'll keep participating in the game. So it's one of those things that you're not throttling to get all his value at once. It's you're staging him and using him, manipulating him so you can get all of his value when you need. Even reserving him and coming in just so you can give that +1 strength, and then using your las cannons will feel good. And then you can later get him involved more in the mid-table. So speaking of, I'm building up another kill rig as we speak, and I'll probably
switch to that camera.
Oh yeah, and we'll switch to this other camera now too. Thank you. So sorry, I was looking at David. Back to the hobby camera. And oh shoot. So yeah, kill rigs are fantastic, and I think people should still try to use them. Oops, not going away. Sorry guys, I was trying to change up the camera, make it closer. You got this. Yeah, so hopefully I answered that. If you have anything you want to elaborate more into which detachment and stuff, I also think in the big hunt, bringing 3 kill rigs might be the way. I know it sounds crazy, but being able to hunt the target and have -4 AP las cannons down range when someone's trying to just let's say screen their tank or their let's say executioner David or something like that, you can just use multiple kill rigs with -4 AP into that guy and actually devastate him, and that'd feel much better. Because otherwise, you're just the hunting, and people will just scream their hunt target. The higher you go up in skill level against your opponents. So I'm not hating the hunt. I think at 1K, it's awesome. If you're playing 1K games, bust out the hunt and run people over.
If you're gonna play teams tournaments too, I think that's a viable option as well.
That's true.
You get to select your matchups.
Yeah, as long as you understand the weaknesses. Hello, Hubert. Glad to catch you on live stream. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad for all of you guys are here. It means a lot. It's a Friday. The points are out. I'm sure you guys have a lot of things to say, and I want to hear them all because it's about running everything. Like I said with the Stompa, I'm running the Stompa. A lot of people are like, I'm going bully boys. I know exactly what the bully boys most likely feel like. Get the WAAAGH twice and you run people over. I don't gotta like get super involved in that. I'm gonna practice him when I'm gonna go to RTT here and such, like in about 2 weeks or so. But I wanted to play with the Stompa because so many people are gonna have the Battle Force box, and they're gonna know, can I even play with this thing? And the answer is yes. If you're gonna play with friends, you gotta tell them, I got the Stompa, my boy. I'm gonna shoot you off the table. But it's actually up to you to have things that can screen, stop him from getting charged, stop him from getting grenaded, stop him from getting shocked or tank shocked, and keep him alive so that he lasts longer in the games. It is a little difficult because he can only move through certain pieces of terrain, but it'll also help you as an Ork player get a lot better at your pile-in, consolidate, where you can land in a fight, everything like that. Shooting, prioritization, and like I said, strength 12, damage 4 sweeps is crazy. Crazy. You know, David? I mean, crazy.
Oh, yeah. I did not expect that to hit it as hard because I wasn't aware of it, to be honest. But like, with my Thunderwolf Cav, yeah, you were taking half the unit, if not more, and that is devastating for that type of list.
Yeah, I mean, you're sweeping away Terminators, even with their Storm Shields. You're sweeping away, you can sweep away Custodes a little bit, even more reliably, because you're just like, well, it's always damage 3 already, but hey, damn more with the Feel No Pains. I'd rather have damage 4. What other things are damage 4? There's a bunch of different things you can kill damage 4. There's the Crushers from the, are they damage strength wounds 5, David? They're 4 wounds. The Crusher from Demons, right?
Yeah, they're 4 wounds. And you would still be...
I'd be 3 on 3s, though, because they're T7.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But damage 4 makes a huge difference for Lord guys, too. There's a couple profiles that are like that. Also, for the Feel No Pain armies that you're going into, you're like, here's 4 damage. That's obnoxious. Feels really good to be able to wound a lot of different things and put more like volume into them, and not just because you know how it is, guys, when you're going for them big chops, right? So having an obnoxious amount of sweep attacks is freaking great. Oh,
even in the mirror matchup against Meganobs, because they got that.
You're right. Yeah, you're getting more shot. Yeah, you're right. And getting him to straight 12 means you're wounding him on 2s. Yeah. So in the mirror matchup, I mean, if you run up on a Meganob unit, you can mess them up, guys. I know Feel No Pain feels great, but I've been rolling them out when I'm getting all these fights, and sometimes you just roll 0, right? So we have some arguments about the sandwich. So okay, guys. I mean, no, not the sandwich. It's the soup. Don't worry, I'll get you, Jank. How dare you? He goes, I got 5 wildly different greens I use evenly across an army. That's cool too, because I think people forget a proper wall is multiple clans in one. So they are going to look a little different, dress different, and behave a little different. Let's see what else you guys got here. We have disagree. If I was given a mozzarella sandwich and a hot dog, I'd be pissed. All right. James the Tank says 1000% cereal is soup. No. It is not. It isn't. I don't care what you guys say. I know there's so someone argued and disputed me because the Google says it has to be hot, and there's a Italian version of cold soup where you don't have to heat it up. David?
What's in it?
It's like a tomato soup.
Tomato.
What I would say is you're essentially just drinking a puree, all right? And I used to work as a CNA, and you would just blend up some stuff and you give it to old people. So you're eating puree. You're not even having a soup right then. I think you're just eating blended food based off how I read that, because I went and looked at how it was made, all right? So a puree is lightly blended, so is your soup. How about that? So yeah, not even soup.
I would also fall back to
baby food.
Cereal referencing grain specifically.
Yeah. So
that's not a soup.
You know what, Jank? When I see you next, dude, we're gonna have to duke it out, man, because I know you love the Stompa. All right. So Aaron says, Would cool to see the gargantuan squiggle being painted. Just I didn't get to put it together yet, sir. I'm swamped, and just in general, we're trying to get better here, especially with the Ork Codex coming out. So we're just swamped, getting stuff up, getting test games in, the stream, getting ready for an event, stuff like that. Hold on, show the paint boy. What's going on? Let me see the paint boy, buddy. There we go. Put them in. You can figure it out. Put them in the camera. You got it. You can adjust the settings. All right, let's see what else is going on. Oh, I see you, Carl. Don't worry, I'll get to you, homie. So we got made more boys. More boys and boss, less squigs plus kill rate. Made the list earlier, looking forward to playing. Okay, so you feel the same kind of way. I did actually limit the boys, and I still brought a lot of squigs on the hunt list because I'm still not a super fan of boys, but I do have some of those boys, okay? Because the boys I'm trying to get lethal and +1 strength and such. So, but imagine giving squig hog boys higher strength and then still giving them lance. They could be running around wounding a bunch of different things in the game on 3s and 2s that they're not used to, and that would help offset the fact that they're not hitting on 2s. No, David? Mm-hmm. So getting kill rigs higher strength would be sick. Sorry, squig hog boys, right? Would be sick. So let's see what else you guys got. To clarify, I swapped out squigs for another snagger unit and a kill rig with the beast boss. Okay, I like the beast boss being down to 80 points. That feels way better. Something I always brought up is all these armies get, let's say, a Lehman Russ, 150 points for the Punisher version, I believe, right now. As an Ork player, what can you punch out that Lehman Russ with? Right now, all we got is Mega Nubs, and that's without a character for that. You're not reliably punching it off. You could hopefully put volume into it, Squig Hog Boys, and up a skill chopper. But what I want to say is there's no equivalent point exchange for something like a tank or a monster at certain point levels right now, and that's hard for us. That's actually one of our weaknesses that our book didn't really overcome. So putting our beast boss down to 80 points help us actually get closer to a trade, because then your snagger boys plus him is only 185 point trade, and that feels much better. Plus proper killie feels a lot better on him when he's 80 points. So he says, Stompa's been crushing custos versus my buddy in casual games. Running a mech with him is the cheat code. No, that's the proper thing to do, buddy. I've been running him constantly. He shot away a great unclean one, which is 12, T12, 4 up invul, rerolling saving throws of 1, and I killed him with 3 guns. Three guns. That's all it was. I just shot the main guns at him, shot him away, and then I killed all the soul grinders on the list, more great unclean ones. I just messed up, and I think my list wasn't as optimized yet. If I had boys in that list, I would have done better. So, Stompa legit. Were you gonna say something, David?
I was just gonna mention one of those great and clean ones had 4 of Fiona pain as well.
Oh yeah, I said that, but that's crazy, guys. A 4 Fiona pain on 20 wounds at T12 and getting shot away with 3 guns is obnoxious. The damage is real. Big shells for bigger gits means you're shooting away almost anything that's a monster or vehicle. It feels freaking crazy. So yeah, Stampa dude, if you're running casually, that's really why I brought it up and why I'm testing it. At 800 points, you can still run your Stompa if you're running the Battle Force box, guys. I promise you. Just do yourself a favor and bring stuff that can screen him from getting charged or tank shocked, and you have a much more effective game. Yeah, I would say those are my biggest advice. I think Mega Knobs on the list are fine. I see somebody put boys. We'll talk about that in a second. He says, good color for Beast Boss and Squiggle Sword Belly. Let's go, Nick. That's you. Good color for Beast Boss and Squiggle Sword Belly. That's you.
What?
He said, good color for Beast Boss and Squiggle Sword Belly.
For the belly?
Yeah, for the belly, dude. We all like bellies. What's up?
Well, what's your top color? You got one or no?
Oh, that's a good question. See? You didn't say. Okay, Soup, tell us what your top color is. We'll get back to that. Okay, I'm going to say it's blue because I have a feeling Soup likes blue. All right, Carl. He said 120 boys, green tide, plus a Stompa. Now, I will say all of this exaggeration stuff that I'm doing here with the Stompa does require you to play Dread Mob. It does require you to play Dread Mob because sustain plus re-rolling hit rolls is drastically better than anything else you would do in any other detachment. So you have to run the Stompa. So would you run boys with it? I would say no. I enjoyed running Mega Knobs with it, not max. Just running like 12 felt good, like or 5 plus the characters each, right? 2 5 menus plus character and trucks. Truck can still play the mission for you. The 5 characters plus 1 dude can punch into power armor, but they also force the enemy to come out and play with your Stompa, and they can't just shoot them away and then make room for their charges. Therefore, they have to charge into the Mega Knobs, which allows your Stompa to get counter charges in or to shoot more things away in the game. So you can draw out big commitments from your enemies if you run Mega Knobs. And then running the boys unit, right? So I ran it without boys. I had ground tanks before. I don't think you need redundancy in if you're running the Stompa, redundancy in other units that are trying to use strats, because you can easily use 3 CP with your Stompa a turn. Therefore, you're going to need the CP, and you're not going to want to ingress. You're not going to want to use another, army or unit to use stratagems on, as long as Stompa's still alive, which you want to stay alive at least for 3 turns if you're trying to win with that game. That being said, when I had the 20 boys, it made it so I can flood the middle of the table if someone just put trash in front of me to slow me down. I punch that stuff away, and then I sticky that objective and hold it on OC, and then I tag it with my Stompa if I can, and that allowed me to play the middle of the table. As well as I had fun with it, and I put a mech in my boys unit, which allowed my boys to get lethal sustain. So that, like, pick one. So that was kind of funny. You will lose about 5 boys though if you force it on hazard rolls, because you got 22 models in the list. 20, and then you have to roll for your war boss and character individually, actually. And then they'll take 3 mortals. So yeah, I think you're a little onto something, Carl, but you do want to drop 100 of those boys. Still have 20 boy mob. If you watch that Stephen Pamprine video, it'll help you to swing, because I tried to get a swing on, but I failed 6-inch charges. Getting a swing on with the boys feels crazy too when you disembark. So you disembark 3, move, advance, charge, and you can swing and tag people behind buildings and stuff that are staging to shoot your Stompa. It feels awesome. So he says Chicago style hot dog. Chicago style pizza or hot dog style hot dog. Chicago style hot dog. Oh, sorry, I should just read that guy. Sorry, David, I'll let you guys go first. No, actually, Nick. Chicago style pizza or Chicago style hot dog.
I go with pizza for sure.
So if you're talking about, hold on, before we answer that, do you mean
kind of
the deep dish pizza?
Yeah,
or do you mean the thin crust style pizza?
That's deep dish. Chicago style
the
pizza.
Chicago style? Okay, so no, David, that's you.
I think the thin crust is also considered Chicago style, but the deep dish is more renowned worldwide.
I would say that because it's so odd and unique,
but
right?
Since we're from here, we got 2 different types.
Go. You answer, David. I'm waiting. I'm going last on all these questions, guys. I'm letting them go first. So
I gotta go with the Chicago style pizza because I'm a cheesy geek.
Yeah. Oh man.
Pizza's better than a sandwich every time.
So I would say, guys, here that's true. So what I would say is Chicago style hot dogs are a little slept on. I don't even like hot dogs. Chicago style hot dog can be fire, but at the end of the day, it's still just a sandwich. Now, I will understand the criticisms of the deep dish pizza. I 100% do. But I would say when you first get it and it comes out, if it cools down a little bit to retain some of its structural integrity, it tastes amazing. It really does, because you get a good amount of cheese. You really get to taste the sauce, and then they use good sausage for it, and there's not a lot of bread involved in it for the most part, because the portions are a lot of sauce, a lot of cheese, not a lot of bread. So, but the thing is, when it's really hot, everything just kind of falls apart, and it's really annoying. So I would say if I could wait a little bit on Chicago style pizza, let it cool down a little bit, maybe have a couple of drinks, something like that, have some wings. Then I take it out. I take out, and then I get stuck into it. It's freaking fire as heck. So pizza kind of always beats almost every version of almost sandwiches. Now we can get into debates about that, because a Chicago style Philly, is crazy, but now we're talking about fat stuff here, and I don't want to be a fat ass. All right, so he says, I'm losing it over here, Jank the Tank. Yeah, dude. You are losing it because you think a freaking pizza or using a cereal soup, you psychopath. So we got Herbert West with a $10. What is that, euro, David? I don't know anything about currencies because I'm an Neanderthal. We had $10 euro chat, dude. What's up with that picture? That's dope. He says, green orcs are so cheesy. Joking aside, any recipe? Got one. By the way, thank you so much for your outstanding content. Glad to catch you live despite the time zone differences. Cheers. Odex, I don't know what that is because I'm a monkey. What is that last part, my friend? I'm not sure. I'm not tech savvy, but I don't use social. Guys, we didn't use any social media before we made this channel. So any cool little text stuff you'll put in, I won't know anything you're talking about. But I greatly appreciate it, Hubert. I see you all the time. Thank you for your $10 super chat. That's very generous of you. I love it. It means a lot to us because that's how we got this camera, dude. The camera that Nick's using right now for this hobby stream.
No, thank you.
That's a straight, I'll just say it's over $1 billion, which is over $100. And so you guys doing these kind of things, we directly invested buying Battle Force boxes so we can donate several for this reason. So it's really to give back to you guys. Like, it's to make everything awesome, right? I picked up that Battle Force box because it's going to be hard to find. And I figure someone will actually enjoy collecting it in the raffle, right? So that's what it's about. And thank you very much, Hubert, because in reality, you're hooking up other Ork players in the future with this. So thank you very much. We'll see what you guys want to. I want to fight some argue with you guys about something else. Okay, so I see you guys got some more stuff. He's a pizza fan of Super Dogs. Yep. Oh,
Super Dogs?
he
No,
says,
you're a fan of Super Dogs?
I've been a super. He said Super Dogs, by the way. I have been a Super Dogs.
I thought
Yeah.
he meant Super Dogs.
I've been a Super Dog. It's fine. He's so Quaker Smasher, Quick Smasher, Quark Smasher, Quark Smasher, Squirk. You know, he's My Hero Academia. He said, still have the scout unit, just not Shirley one. You have a scout unit, or you're saying that's a problem? Let me know exactly what you mean. It's funny because I think if someone gives you the scout unit, then it gives you a charge as an Ork player if you stage correctly to run out and touch it. And then either your 20-man unit can do it or your Mega Knives can do it, and then you still draw out the enemies with the Stompa. But we can go into more meta stuff if you want. But I'm high on the Stompa just because I like playing with my Stompa, you know, and I think all you guys should if you got into it. So if you got that Battle Force box, because guys, it only comes out every couple, like 5, maybe half a dozen, you know, I don't even know, 5 years, 4 years that the Stompa becomes playable. So I'm jumping on it before they make the CP stratagems to CP or something. He says, you want to read this? Anybody? Here, David?
I wonder if Flash Gits
Oh.
and Snaz Wagons having sustained 1 as shooty would be in mild insurance, while the rest being mostly melee having sustained 1. Wagons are big DACA, but desire min-max melee.
Okay. I like the angle you're trying to take on this. I appreciate anybody that tries the multi-phase and utilize the transports and the shooting, the firing deck, the sustain. That's all true. What I would say is a Snaz Wagon gets the most value by sticking him in the choke point and saying, haha, you're minus 1 to hit now. As for the Flash Gits, it's all about skirmishing, dude. You stage that vehicle behind a building, let them disembark, walk forward, stand on the objective, shoot at something, get in a skirmish fight with the scout unit, for example. Dude, they're winning that fight like 9 out of 10 times. For 80 points, what is killing Flash Gits for 80 points in a straight up fight for fight, point for point? Right? It'd have to be something like Wolfen. You're in it, right? But you can shoot the Wolfen as well. They'd have to be behind the terrain. And then you're strength 6, so you're wounding them on 3s. You can get lethal, and they're 2 damage each. And if you get the charge off on the Wolfen, you can beat the crap out of them too. Sure, some of them kill you in response, but Wolfen also has 0 OC, and they can't shoot like we just said. And actually, that may give me an idea for something else. So we're gonna talk about Flash Gits a little more, but I just got a great idea. I want to look
some Nurgle Legionnaires now that they're also 80 points.
Nurgle.
I think they can take two special weapons per fight.
Oh, okay. You meant Legionnaire Space Marines?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Chaos Space Marines.
Okay. No, keep going with it because I'm looking something up right now.
So yeah, I think they can take an equivalent of like an autocannon, which I could be messing up the numbers here, but usually those are around strength 6, minus 1 AP, 1 damage, and about 6 shots.
Yeah, they're either strength
So
or
you're
7.
looking at 12 shots. Nurgle gives you sustain. And if you dark pack, I think it's on 5s that the sustain goes off.
So you're saying, should we be aware of Nurgle Legionnaires or something? Or you're just saying Chaos Marines are making a comeback because they got a bunch of decreases?
I think they're both. They're making a comeback. And the Nurgle ones, just because of the new rule that the transport also has to be the same mark. That Nurgle Rhino essentially can't be targeted out 18, so it's easy to get into the midfield or within range of what they want to shoot at without getting hurt too much.
Okay, I can get it. Yeah, it is annoying. Luckily, I think for the most part, Orks with their new archetypes are going to do good until power armor. I think.
Yeah, I wouldn't be too concerned about it. It's just more of a direct answer to your question.
One thing I would also say is if you have the points left over for Ed Stompa, right? I'm gonna show that real quick. Ed Stompa right here. I'm gonna zoom in a little bit in case you guys are watching us on stream video. It says this is an enhancement for Bully Boys. It says infantry warboss model only. Each time the bear makes an attack that targets an enemy that's below starting strength, reroll wound rolls of 1. If that's below half starting strength, you can reroll wound rolls instead. The only way you're going to get this off is if something actually shoots at you. If you actually have potential to shoot at something. And in that regards, it would have to be rerolling ones, and then you'll maybe get buffs from the wall on there, and then you'll be wounding it on 3s, rerolling 1, so you can take advantage of it. But I'm saying flash kits can help you take something to below starting strength, if that makes sense to you guys, right, David?
Yeah.
Nick. So I think that's where flash kit could also make a little bit of a play, to where if you're running bully, let's say bully boys, for example, you can something has to be a little hurt because that enhancement's useless, but sometimes you just have points left over for the use for an enhancement, and in that case, it could be useful. And we got a whoa! Let's go. Hopefully, you appreciated the answer from the kill rig. Where's your wall, dude? You better walk. Yeah, that was pretty loud. Okay. Dude, we just what were they calling you in chat earlier?
I gotta work on it, man.
Dude, that was a straight up wall, dude. That was like a grot that was about to get killed wall. Okay.
Sounded like a Wookiee wall.
Yeah, Wookiee wall. He did that good.
Yeah, practice.
And thank you, Vento, because I never heard him wall before. So that was weird. All right, so I appreciate it. Hopefully, I answered your question about the kill rig as well. And you put a bunch of gas squigs in the chat too. Thank you, Vento. I like when you guys use the emotes and the badges. They're super exciting to me. And a lot of you guys are actually like growing up and becoming Ork boys and Death Dreads and all this different stuff. And so that'll be pretty awesome. And the more I see you guys, it excites me. So thank you for that, and thank you for using the emotes and giving us some love. And he said deep dish pizza. Let's go. You didn't answer his question about a recipe. Do you have any recipe for how you like to do orks?
For the skin?
Yeah.
Well, for your orks, I base coat it purple, and then I go with War Boss green, and then moot green.
Okay.
To get it as bright as you like.
That's actually how I like it too. It is.
Yeah. Sometimes I add some yellow.
What if you had to do an olive color? Because I know a lot of people
an
like
olive color. I usually go War Boss green and then Ork flesh. And it kind of gives you that olive color.
Okay, cool.
Mm-hmm.
Just so people know, because I missed that part of the super chat.
And you can always mix the greens with like some grays to like go them down too if you want to be.
Okay, I've seen some gray. Oh, okay, gray.
Yeah,
okay.
You mix the greens with gray.
Okay.
Or any color to dull it down.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
And I see a bunch of you guys are boys in the chats. Jank, you're a grot still, not surprised, little runt. But Steven Goodrich, Gladiator, Slap Chop, J Hugh, Vinto, Soup. Dude, we got so many Ork boys now, David. So many Ork boys in chat. Remember when it was nothing? Now it's just a bunch of Ork boys. It's freaking fantastic.
Hey, they came out for the green tide.
Mm-hmm. You guys are showing up for the green tide. I'm looking forward to running the green tide. There's a reason why Nick is painting up Pain Boys right now, guys. I'm about to flood the table. I'm going to run my local meta. I'm going to look at all these super sweaty competitive players. Yeah, I'm talking to you, Derek. And I'm going to run them over with the green tide, dude. It's going to be fantastic. He said Detroit style is also delicious. You know, I do like it because it has like the flaky crust. I do like it. I think it's a little slept on. He said instead of cornbread lip is Carmelo's cheese. Also deep dish. Okay. If you guys are ever around, man, you guys, they changed the Adepticon in Milwaukee, by the way. I don't know if we talk about that because I was like, dude, I was looking forward to us running 2 teams. And I was like, it's gonna be nearby. We're gonna be able to hook you guys up and be near us and stuff. So we're gonna have to figure it out. If you want to come to Adepticon, my gits, we'll start planning it now. I want to make 2 teams with David and with me. We'll have 2 teams, we'll have 10 dudes. There'll be not 8 people. That means 8 people. 2 different org teams running Adepticon. I don't care how competitive you are. I don't care what you're doing. Show up, be a part of WAAAGH Tactics. We're going to WAAAGH. We're going to run around. We're going to flex on people and show them that we like to have fun. Putting it out there now because we have a whole year to prepare. So he says, this is a good ass question. Sorry, I pressed the wrong one. Is gas worth the points in the Bully Boys? This 100% comes down to what else is on your list. Now that's almost a rhetorical question because in reality, I can almost guess what's on your list. Because you're limited. So what I would say is if you're running 2 10-man units of knobs, yes. If you're not bringing stuff that has volume of attacks, no. Because when you break out the math, of course you have an opportunity to peak and spike those 6s for lethal. But when you really do the math, you're not really increasing that much from the lethal, and you're getting most of the value from your knobs in the actual gas unit from the Mega Knobs Power Claws for that lethal potential. So, yes, I could totally see him bringing worth the points, yet I wouldn't be surprised as at the competitive, high level of competitive play, they drop him just for more stuff. Because I can see people slowing down Bully Boys with just a lot of trash and vehicles and odd vehicles or 4-up inhomes that could end up surviving. And that would suck for them. Now, could they still push people off primary? Maybe. Therefore, that might offset what I'm saying. So this will be a good conversation when I talk to next week when we do our tier list video as well. Because I'm going to be talking to a member of Team America, and this is one of the questions I want to ask him like, directly when we actually do the gas breakdown as where he ends up in my tier list. So great question, Steven. I would say at the moment, go ahead, run it if you're running 20 knobs. If you're not running 20 knobs, I'd say don't use them. And I do mean in 2 10-man units. I do. If it's 1 10-man unit, I don't know. I would say my archetype right now does come down to a 10 and 2 5-mans. That way I have kind of like a skirmish run out, punch kind of hard, but not fully hard units. So if I'm running that, I consider not having gas. But with all the reduced damage, the feel no pains, gas, lethal, crit 5s, bunch of mega knobs going hard, that could be crazy. So I'd say go ahead and start it first, and then you'll know after a couple games in your local meta if he's worth it. In my local meta, it might be worth it just so I can straight up smash through people that have durable armies and stuff. So yeah, I would say yeah right now, but that's up for debate, meta dependent as we continue. Because you know it evolves, guys. It evolves. The meta will evolve, especially we don't know how people are going to react to us right now. So we have Gladiator. I'm planning to build a kit bash Stompa if I cannot get my hands on one. Well, I think you can. I really hope you can. But there's a lot of ways you can kit bash one. I think we have actually a picture on here of a really cool kit bash Stompa, and you use Night Bits. You can use Night Bits. You can use Big Head Boss Head Bunka and use him as bits as well. Maybe make him a head. You can do a bunch of crazy stuff. So I'm very hopeful for you because it's not super popular of a model, but if you kit bash one, show me, and then our next hobby stream, I'll bust it out. So right here, also I want to say these pictures are excellent for the Squig Hog boys, the Beast Snagger boys that we have on here, right, David? The extra work you did for the blood and made it different from the scales is really cool. In the pants, I actually do like the pants. The gray color is actually a good pick. This is a bit darker of an olive or color, and this is what we were talking about earlier. I go for more like a green, which Nick can show you from what he's painting right now in this picture. But I think these are excellent. These are really, really good, and the pictures you took are really, really good with the background. Of course, we have some Storm Boys here. We'll see if we have another picture that shows their back. Man, look at those
awesome.
flames. That's sick.
So cool.
So it's deceitful because from front, they look like some boys with packs. Boom. Where'd you get those? You know, man, hit me up and tell me where you got those because I have boys that have fairly similar pack backs, thanks to David, but I don't have that flames coming out the back.
Nice job on those pants, too. Those pants are sick.
Oh, right. That's a
I
good
love that.
touch. You're right. Good shout out, man. Good shout out because those pants look freaking awesome for orange. I love those. So I'll leave those on the stream for a little second. Also, why answer some more of your pictures you get, and the power claw being orange is cool too. Let's see. Ask me anything, guys, because we're talking about meta, things you want to use. Like I said, use your Stompa. You have a great time. You'll have fun.
Things you want to eat.
Things you want to eat. Clearly, you are some hungry gits, and you're confused about what questions food's going to. So whatever, dude. I'm down for it because you know I'm an orc. I like to argue. I like to fight. All right. So he said, I had 2 Squig units. One with scout enhancement, and the other was pseudo transhuman. Got rid of the second one to get a kill rig, Snagger Boys, and Beast Boss in the hunt, obviously. I would say if it's at 2K, I would fully suggest 2 units of Squig Hog Boys because one is going to scout and the other can be pulled off the table and placed where you need him to be. And I like Maz in the hunt because 2 AP makes a difference, my guy, when you're running into vehicles and monsters and you're like, yeah, damage 5, damage 4, oh, okay, you can, because he still has that, okay? So what I would also say is Snagger Boys are fine, but once you pay for the character, that becomes a very expensive unit. And I would run kill rigs without stuff in it all the time. You don't, like your third one doesn't have to have stuff in it, in my opinion. Or your second one doesn't need a character. It could just be a 10-man unit that runs out, touches an objective. So always be open to that. I like that people are using the hunt, and pseudo transhuman is pretty sick because what you mean by that pseudo transhuman for anybody who's new is pseudo transhuman is transhuman used to be a enhancement or a strat that would force people to only wound you on 4s no matter what. They could have strength 25 +1 to wound, and they would still be wounding you on 4s. And GW got rid of that because nobody liked that. But when you're T7 with -1 to wound, essentially everybody is wounding you on 4s besides Canis, Rex, and Stompa. Now, I think that's really good, but it's not amazing. I think it's really good. I would still stick to probably Maz and just try to get him brought on the table in a strategic point, and having higher damage in the hunts will help offset. Because the thing I think about a lot of the times, a lot of us are casual players, let's say as a whole in the community. A lot of people are casual players, and all it takes is one of your Space Marine friends to bring a Redemptor Dreadnought, right? And all of a sudden, like 2 Redemptor Dreadnoughts, and they're like reduced damage. You got to pop 2 CP. You got to pop your bomb squigs. You got to pump the new charging stratagem that allows mortal wounds. You got to pop a grenade, maybe. You got to use all these CP, or maybe the Unbridled Carnage version into hunts. And that's a bunch of CP costs. What about the other one on the other side of the table? That's where Maz and his unit comes in, and he just crumps you, right? So, or even Angron, right? Angron with -1 damage, super annoying sometimes. But you got proper Killy on a Beast Boss and Float, or you got Mazrog, you're like, yeah, bro. -2 AP, so I take you to your 4-up invuln. You -1 damage me, and I still have damage 5, damage 4. Right? That's how I think about Maz for those who are kind of throw him off to the side. You can still bring him, you redeploy him, and that would be really good. David, what do you think about that? How do you feel about Maz?
Maz? Yeah, I mean, he solves those issues for you, and we're going to see Ironstorm still be a thing. It's going to shift slightly. So maybe you will see more of the Redemptors or even the Ballistic Dreadnoughts.
Didn't they go down in points?
Yeah, it went down 15 points. So they're 160. They're more of like small arms fire, but they fight hard in melee.
They do fight hard.
And they have that 2-up save.
You know what also? The fact that you said they fight hard means you fight on death with your squigs.
Yeah.
Because that's what Maz does now.
Well, they also do mortal wounds on the charge. So that's just some extra damage they can get in you. And then also Vindicators went down as well. And they're also 2-up save anti-tinks.
Okay, so there we go. That's how I feel about that, guys. I still think if you got to choose only 2 Squig Hogblaze unit, I'm still down for Maz. But that's me. That's me down for Maz. Here's some great flash gifts talking about skirmish boys. Look at that freaking eye, Nick. I think he did a great job in the eye.
Pretty nice. Pretty nice.
Pretty nice. I'm slow. How do flash gifts work in a truck as a SWAT team? So if you don't know what a SWAT team is, it means you're putting 2 different Ork units in the truck for 12 transport capacity. That way you can fit either 2 5-man units with leader, or just 1 unit with the leader and the other guy as a mech. And the mech can come out at the end of the movement. He can give the truck +1 to hit. That way when it's using firing deck, the flash gets inside are now hitting on 4s. In reality, the flash gets on shooting, and if you look at how the rules are understood, the truck takes the guns when the flash gets jump inside it and attach it to the sides of it, and then the vehicle itself is shooting. That's why the mech giving it +1 to hit works that way. You don't get the data sheet abilities, but you do still get the gun abilities, which are sustained. So that would feel really good. A 5-man unit might be kind of cheap low for that because you don't get the +1 shots for being close. But in a SWAT team, you could figure it out. You still get loan up if you want him to do some kind of secondary ability for you. But yeah, I think you could totally do that. Maybe a 10-man unit, put mechs in there. Don't play for Captain Badrook. Jump out, get stuck in a fight. You're cheaper. That could be a thing too. Not nearly as effective, but if you already got those 10 flash gets up, go ahead and do that. No, I'm not tripping. I think that's good. I think I'm right on there. And I still think 5-man units are gonna be good. Okay. Pick 1 to get out of Legends. Oh, how dare you? How dare you? Okay, because I already know my answer, just right off reading it, he said, pick 1 to get out of Legends. David, you go first, and then Nick, you can go second.
All right, I got to go with Boss Zagstruck. He's just an awesome model, and I love any jump pack units. So the fact that he can lead them, make them a little stronger, is going to be my pick.
Yeah, do you like the little, the fact that he looks like he's a bombardier?
Oh yeah, his little hat and everything. I love his aesthetics.
He's awesome. But Nick, with all the Forge Wood models, with Uftak, but he's not on there. In this one question, side by side, Boss Zagstruck, which is that jetpack character that looks like a bomber, or the War Boss on bike.
I'm gonna go with the War Boss though.
Oh,
I'm a speed freak. Man.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Really? Oh, so I'm a tiebreaker here. That's what I like to see. So
I mean, Zagstruck's fast too, though. So maybe I'm wrong on that.
No. You already said War Boss. Don't take it back now. No. I'm taking that vote.
Can I put Zagstruck on a bike?
No, of course not, dude. He doesn't even have another foot.
He doesn't need a foot.
Dude,
just build him in there. You're north, man.
He's gonna be all off balance. All right, so I'm gonna say he would go on a plane, dude. He looks like a bombardier. He's not gonna get on a bike. So I'm gonna be the tiebreaker here. Zag Strick all the way, baby. I'm a Zag Strick fan. I'm picking Zag. Take him out. He's amazing. I love how mine's painted. The Warboss on Bike's base is obnoxiously silly. He's easy to try points. And the Warboss doesn't get enough attacks. Zag Strick at least gets 6 attacks. Get out of my face with your 4 attacks on the Warboss on Bike, boy.
And the feel no pain.
And the feel no pain, boy. Yeah, with that cyborg body. It's still a good picture. I like the Warboss on Bike. Now you just made me sad because I remember Zag Strick's dead now. Legend. Let me try that again. Okay, Zag. That's why it's cheap. Let's see. And Vinto said I did answer his question. Thank you, buddy. I'm glad. Oh, he has the same question. Same question, but from the entire Legends list, what would you bring? Ooftalk. That's me. That's me. I'm bringing Ooftalk. All right, you guys' turn. I started this one off. Okay.
I don't know who's on.
What I would also say is a Mech Dread would be appealing because he looks cool. I think Nick would bring the Red Goblin, but the Mech Dread, I think the Mech Dread is pretty cool.
Is Badrock
he never got good. He is.
Yeah.
I go with Badrock.
Okay, Badrock's a good pick. Okay, Badrock's a great pick. Okay, David.
I'm gonna go with
Gobbo.
I was gonna say the Grotmis kit.
Yeah, I got him. Dude, he's a really good data sheet.
Took my thunder.
You said Grassnick?
No.
The Grotmis kit.
Oh.
Yeah. So if you guys don't know what the Grotmis gets, it's literally a squig on a grot. A grot on a squig with a Christmas theme, and it has like a bunch of different rules, like blown up, I think, too, and everything.
Yeah.
So it's a really good data sheet. Now, if you thought I was gonna say Grot Tank, I just knew that it was me the most direct answer. But let's say if I don't have the Dread Maul, it's not OP, I'm not gonna kill everybody. Just straight up, yeah, I'd still say that. I still would say what I said. If we're talking about just so I can beat up my friends and shoot away Hypercrypt, I'm gonna pick the Grot Tank.
Honorable mention. I was a fan of the Mecha Dread. Just got like Dreadnoughts.
Yeah.
Didn't have the best rules, but it was just an awesome model.
It tried. It just GW never gave it enough attacks. Let's see who else. Does Nick 6 have any socials he posts, or does he do commissions? Yeah. Where's the sign? Let's go. We got it. Actually, he does my commissions, and he's doing David's commissions. So
where should I put this here?
Hold on, I'll take this off.
You're gonna have to read it.
Bam.
All right. I'm not Nicky6, but I'm Nick No Data. And my IG is Raw Talent Studios, and I do commissions. You could message me on there if you want, and I can go through like prices and how much time it would take and all that. I usually get edgy stuff done in a couple weeks, so I'm pretty quick.
Yeah, he's like that's the one of his very unique skills and strengths is Nick is super fast to where we take him to the Warhammer shop and he painted in front of me and he was just so fast. Even the Games Workshop employee was really impressed. And that's why I was like, Nick, you should just do this as commissions. I'm the one who's encouraged him to do that because most people just want it like quick so that they can get along with the meta or keep playing. Nick would get you to that where you need to be quick as possible. That way you can get your stuff on the table. And by the time you're done building it, he'll be done painting it. That's the crazy part.
Hey, that was a chick fan. You got some chicks on here?
Do we?
Watch
I don't think so. I don't think so.
You don't think so?
No.
This is girlfriend.
The
My
girlfriend.
girlfriend? Oh, your girlfriend?
Maybe.
Mm.
Whoa, what's up? If you're not gonna hold on, we're gonna take this off. Let's see what he says. I will definitely make an attempt to make Adepticon next year. Funds were just not there this year. That's why I'm putting it out there right now, guys. We need 8 of you orcs to come out, join the Great WAAAGH Tactics team. We'll split you up, 5 people with David, 5 people with me. I think they do have restrictions, like only 2 people can be orcs per team. So obviously, David won't play orcs, so more of 2 different orc players will probably be on orcs David's list. He'll probably be playing Space Wolves or something, which means it'll be hilarious if you guys are on the same team. Just freaking straight up running people over with Thunderwolf, and then a Bully Boys unit. How obnoxious is that? Just throw all the Thunderwolf on someone, and then follow with the Bully Boys right after it, and then call WAAAGH again. That might be super strong, actually. And David does have all of the Thunderwolf cavalry.
Yeah, that would actually be a good way to get the Bully Boys off the field without actually taking damage.
That's
the
crazy.
Thunderwolves are right in the opponent's face.
Dude, that would be crazy, actually. I just thought about that right now. So Gladiator, come out here, join David, run some people over. These flash kits look fantastic. Great job to all you guys sending pictures. I'm so just excited that I'm just all over the place. And right here, I want to say this. I don't think this is a Stompa. I think this is some kind of Gorkanaut because the claw he has, but this is what I'm talking about, the creativity. Build your own Stompa, build your own Gorkanaut. You guys got to get stuck in. It's really good.
Yeah, those gears are beautiful, man.
Yeah. Oh, the gears,
Those
right?
highlights on there.
Nice rustic yellow. I like the green. Anybody that can pull off a green on green and not be weird, has my love. So who else we got? We got everyone is peanut butter jelly of orcs right now, and they should be. So I showed up to my local Games Workshop store when I picked my stuff up, and so many people were just, as I walked in the door, people were talking about grot tanks. As I walked in, they were like, "Man, I'm disappointed my grot tanks were taken away," and I agreed with them. But at the same time, you know, they asked me, as everybody in the store asked me, "What do you think about the Ork Codex?" I rated it straight up 10 out of 10. It became a 9 out of 10 after they destroyed some of our legend models. GW, it was super unnecessary for you to make artist nails not work on our one monster. The fact that you did that means you intentionally seen Aaron excited and you punched him in the head. So that being said, still at least a 9 out of 10, at least, if not a 9.5. The reason I say that is because every detachment is playable, and almost every data sheet, besides Flash config, can find some sort of synergy. So that's exactly where GW should have their books and how everybody wants their stuff to be. I mean, David owns a bunch of different armies. I own a bunch of different armies, and I know David kind of feels like, what the heck are these? What's going on? You know, my ad mech is unplayable.
Yeah, and that what makes it even more unfortunate is GW is like, hey, we're gonna give you new rules, but you gotta wait 8 months since you've had your codex to get any playable rules.
That's ridiculous. Shout out to this awesome conversion. I mean, I feel like it's like a Gorkanaut because the arm right there is very similar to a Gorkanaut or a Morkanaut arm. So I'm sure this can run either way. It doesn't have the force field, so I'm thinking it's a Gorkanaut, to be honest. Here's an awesome War Boss of Mega Armor. I mean, Mega Armor. I meant Mega Armored Knob. What I would say is Mega Armored Knobs look silly as heck right now, the GW version. So shout out to my boy who told me get the brutes because the brutes look sick, and I'm gonna convert some brutes to other Mega Knobs. So there we go. Alex, yes, you were talking about grot tanks. I will find you for calling me a liar because as I walked in the door, you guys are talking about how grot legends were taken away and how it was disappointing. And someone said they were gonna convert some. So I always have a body camera on me because I'm a secret agent. I will bust that out, and you will buy me fish sticks. All right, so let's see what's going on here. Also, this is what I would like to see my Mega Knobs look more like. They should look big, bulky, chunky. His gun looks like a plasma gun, so that's questionable. Other than that, fantastic. And now we have a Maz. Waaagh is fantastic. Let's see where Nick's at also with this. We'll get back to the Waaagh. Don't worry, guys. We have so much that we're going to... Oops.
I'm getting there. Almost done.
Oops. I'm pressing everything. Figuring this out. Hey, it actually is getting close. I like that. There we go, dude. I like that color. That was quick. The fact that it was literally black when we started the stream.
Pretty good.
You're black and you got the other ones going too because you got the base colors on the other paint box.
Yeah, I based the skin on the second one, and then we got the word.
That's wall talking and listening to me scream. All right, so what else do we got? Let's see. He goes, oh, meta is half damage. Don't forget, boys. BSB.
PSB. Battle Standard Bearer.
No, he definitely didn't say that. You're confused. Meta is half damage. Don't forget, boys. BSB. Huh?
These abbreviations.
I told you I'm a Neanderthal. What did you mean by that, Hubert? But yes, having damage, how you get around that is high volume with damage 1. That's for something like
Snagger Boys.
That's for something like running B Snagger Boys. Oh, I thought we were talking about B Snagger Boys. What I was gonna say is for B Snagger Boys, if you run gas, index detachment / warhorde, pop that critical 5s, re-rolling, you're getting crazy lethals here. Like I said earlier, when I run my 20 boy mob unit, I put a mech in there and I put lethals or sustain on my 20 boys. That was freaking dope. So yeah, anything like that, high volume of damage 1 can really cut through people, and that's why I think Squighog Boys still kind of have their place. Something like Catan still hates to see Squighog Boys, especially if Gaz is nearby. So yeah, Hubert, if you're running that, just bust out your Stompa and shoot everybody away and punch them with sweep vortex. You'll kill them. No, just kidding. I'm just kidding. It said It will be some time in June, moving the middle of May. Okay. Well, I think what is a Adepticon? We got to figure that out. Oh, February? Okay.
Yeah, February, March.
I think February, March. So I think we have time. Hopefully, sure, it works out for you.
Unless
Oh, we
they
have a
ch- unless
super
they
chat
change it.
too from Fighting Fedora. What could y'all get to you? What should I take with my 120 grats? Let's see. When I don't think you. I was gonna say a Stompa, homie. I just don't know if you could fit the points.
30 more grats.
I would think all the grats. 120 is the maximum amount of grats you can take right now. Could I take 120 grats? So they're 40 each, right? For 10.
So it's 480.
Mm-hmm. So then, dude, take a Stompa.
Yeah.
Dude, no question, take a Stompa. The whole thing I've been saying on stream is if you can stop the Stompa from getting charged, then you're doing good. So reserve one of those bricks of grats, maybe 2, ingress 1, come off the side of the table. If you really have the points, you can make a Zod, so you can scout earlier and really get up in there and actually punch away an enemy scouting unit, because they're going to try to get in your way. That way you can do a similar thing to the 20 unit of boys. And then you can put a 20-man unit of grats in the Stompa. So absolutely run the Stompa, no questions. If not, run max Killicans. And if you still want to run Grot Tanks, you still can. He said there are really some cool, really proxies out there for Zag. Vulture dudes, I've seen people make, shout out to JQ, make some really sick Zag struck. He said, I remember calling GW Corporate about kill tanks, and I noticed the name was changed the day after I called. A week later, the announcements came. Damn, so you were trying to get in. That's horrible. I'm sorry to hear that. Let's see. Let's get this hobby thing. I think this Mazrog looks sick. Also, while we're on the topic, so I can start some more confrontation and arguments, I'm gonna say, yeah, dude. Guess what? You see that S right there? That's a snake bite. You see that snake-looking symbol right there? That's a snake, meaning that Maz is literally a snake bite. Now, before you jump on my head and say, well, that's because it was designed in 9th edition, Maz is the main character. Let me also say, the straight up boys, the Beast Snagger boys, their knob on his banner is a very similar S. Oh, there it is right there. You have it right here. Ready? 1, 2, 3. I'm bringing it up on stream. Look at that. Little ugly. Very almost exactly the same. Therefore, Beast Snagger boys were innately snaggas. Snake bites. Excuse me. I like snaggers. Snake bites. Now you can say the S is now for snaggas. Maybe GW proactively made that, but you can see it looks like an actual snake. Now I say that to say this: there's very different thing. It's very different to be feral to a snake bite. Yet GW kind of missed the mark, in my opinion, by just killing all of the clans and then making snake bites obviously to hunt. In reality, with snakes, Beast Snagger boys could have been hard boys, but I think Maz is fantastic. So I'm not mad about it, and the fact that they incorporated squigs is awesome. I just had to make this point so that we can argue about it, because I'm an orc and I want y'all to fight. All right, so fight in a lovely way. Don't be mean to each other. All right, so let's see what's happening here. Soup said, did you assume my gender? No, I don't assume anything, because orcs don't have genders. So let's see what else do we have. It says, if I can make sisters in time, I could sub in as a non-orc aid to the boys. Well, that's up to you, my git. Why not? I mean, sisters have a bunch of cheap units that are fast. You can bring Crusaders. You can bring some Castigators for tanks. You can bring some indirect. So yeah, sisters would be out. And if you guys bring anything you want, just because you're a part of this community, I understand loving and playing other armies. I personally have other armies. So definitely, if you show up for Adepticon or any events as a team tournament for us, don't think I'm ever going to think anything silly about you loving other factions too. 40K as a whole is dope. Gladiator said I have Dark Angels, hence my avatar here on Discord. That makes sense. What else do we have? Oh, David.
All right, pick one. Would you rather lose your thumb but roll 6s for the rest of your life, or lose your big toe and your opponent always rolls 1s?
That's horrible. Isn't your big toe necessary for balance?
No, that's your
pinky toe?
Yeah, your pinky toe.
Yeah,
I still like grabbing things with my big toe, so I have to think about this. David, you go first. Or actually, Nick, because he looks like he knows about his toes.
I'm going with my toe, man.
Yeah, I knew it, dude. I knew it.
I can't lose my thumbs.
Yeah, dude. That's exactly. You were gonna say that. How are you gonna paint? Okay, so we got 1 for the toe, David. This is an absurd
They'll
conversation.
always make initiative.
This is an
they'll
absurd
roll.
conversation. I think we lost 4 people from this question. Jay, no, I was kidding. David.
I'm gonna go for the thumb just for the benefit, because if I'm always rolling 6s, those are crit 6s and crit wins all the time.
David's giving up
I hope it's
as
your
an-
left.
dude, as an
Yeah,
orc
sure.
player, he's giving up his left thumb. So David's freaking running around like this. Gosh, this is very difficult. And I know you guys are thinking why. As an arc player, I really want to roll 6s too.
Can I lose them both?
But if your enemy always rolls 1s, can you lose both? Yeah, you can lose both. You just win every game. Let's see. I'm gonna say, for the most part, you can win the game without always rolling 6s. But if your enemy always rolls 1s, that means their advances are also 1s. Their big invulns are 1s. Their d6 damage are 1s. I'm gonna say let them roll 1s, lose my big toe, have both my hands so I can still make weird signs with my hand gestures. Let's go. That's an awkward question. We spent about 3 minutes on that. I'm impressed. Okay. Yeah, you were talking about Gratanks, Alex. I'm gonna see you. I'm gonna give you a hug for talking smack. All right, so we have Jank the Tank says Mega Brutes look so good. Yeah, I look forward to that. I do need more bits, as I've used a lot of my bits. So I'm a little disappointed as an orc player for not having an abundance of bits. But I would say that my dudes need some bits so that I can run them better. Yeah, Alex, sorry about that. Be Snagger Boys. All right, dude, I get it. You're kind of all right. So he said, if you can make a blood axe attachment, what rules would it have? What strats and enhancements do you think would do? It would need, because I don't care about how other people feel when I'm talking about my blood axes, uppy downy. Right? I need maybe a scout move similar to World Eaters, where I can pick multiple units with Snick Rod or something, or a different character to be able to scout. I would want uppy down, but really what I would want is reactionary move. I want to move 6 inches when someone moves in range of, like my commandos or something. I would like that. So
Yeah,
just
also when you get shot, moving like a blood
yes.
surge.
Yeah, another blood surge. So really, just all the stuff that makes you movement shenanigan. I wouldn't really care to get too much more damage increase because I'm a blood axe. Maybe if I like, if a unit's diminished a little bit, something similar to like we talked about with Bully Boys, then that could be my kind of damage throttling because I still think you need that. But as a whole, reactionary moves, reactionary shooting, scouting potential, stuff like that would be very, very good for blood axes. And it would
gotta have stealth too, right?
Something, yeah, stealth, or at least a strat to give stealth, right?
Yeah.
And yeah, Gaz only gives Krista's units on 5s, yes. But remember, you can run the index attachment / warhorde or the hunt and pop a strat and still get crit 5s, and that's what I meant in context. So if I misspoke, I'm sorry about that. Max Drots is 480 points, boys. So the Stompa plus, I'm glad you get this math, Jank. You know, Jank, just because you said this, I'm going to make all my friends very happy. I'm going to take my 120 grots out, and I'm going to try this now. So thank you. I feel like I should try this now. Yeah. That's going to be so obnoxious. So he says, Alex, I don't care what anybody says. I will never not run 24 Squiggle Boys led by 2 Beast Balls and Squiggle and a Mouse. Rest of my list will be damned. So he said, I don't care. I just want to flood the table. I think sometimes people just won't be able to handle that, dude. Are you running it as a bully boy or as the hunt? You got to let us know. But some people really just want to be able to deal with that much toughness, that much feel no pains, and that much mobility, right? Just straight up in either detachment, even if you ran an index. So but wait, did he do scout? Did he say scout? No, he just said just them. I mean, even if you run the index detachment, but follow me, lads, you have access to Artist Nails still, critical 5s to make a fear -1 to hit. So yeah, there's a lot of things. Do people really argue that? Oh, never mind. No, we just argue in general because we're Orks and we're trying to act like we don't get along, even though we all love each other. Okay, so he said, Fighting for Door made a list. Okay, David.
New list: 1 mech, 100 grots, 18 kilocans, and 1 Stompa.
That's your list. Now, all I need you to do is kit bash up a Snaggy Little Tooth, right? He's going to be your warlord. You can call him whatever you want. He can proxy as whatever model. You make Snazzy the warlord. Snaggy Little Tooth the warlord because it goes up with his story and his lore with taking over a Stompa. I know there's stipulations to that, but we'll pretend in this world in your world. He made that Stompa work and it became his. The kilocans, he has a proper giant route revolution, and your list will legit work, dude. This list would actually work. I'm gonna say that right now. You do need to reserve some stuff. You will put one of your grot units in your Stompa. Your kilocans are very slow and will get in the way, but all in all, you could run this and actually mess some people up. So thank you for another $2 super chat, and I did get your message, so we'll get your shirt to you. He said, fight, fight, fight. Okay, thank you, Gladiator. That's a great name for someone named Gladiator to start yelling fight at us. He said, big toe isn't necessary for balance. Oh, yeah, so I picked the big toe, I guess, huh?
Yep.
He said, Sludge said, David, if you want to.
He said, stoked. Tomorrow I'm picking up the Stompa box and the Codex. I pre-ordered it. Whoa.
Dang. Dude, I'm telling you, get that Stompa up and going. Because grot tanks aren't going to bully the meta, I'm feeling a lot better about Great WAAAGH, that GW is not going to make our strats, let's say, cost 2 CP now. The fact that they're already battle tactics means that other armies that are Imperium, I think can make them cost additional CP if you're using some of those strats. So that helps offset that as well. So it's not going to be OP. Therefore, I would say run that Stompa, Sludge. Get in there, run the Stompa. Go ahead and do Ludas if you want to, because you have the box. The truck's useful because you can put stuff in the truck. Boys will help you if they stick you something on the edge of the table, and if someone runs up to take it, then you get to kill them for running up and touching that objective. Run your Stompa. Run it, because it comes every half decade or so where you can run the Stompa and possibly actually win a game, right? And right here we have the kill rig someone suggested or posted in. It looks fantastic. This is very box arty. I had this up for a while now. Sorry, guys. I'm reading most of your chat, getting stuck in. So yeah, this kill. What do you think, David? Kill thing. Nick. Very box arty, right?
Yeah, it's cool though. It gets the job done. The skin looks really good.
The Martian moon base is very similar to what I run.
Oh yeah, it's
Very
exactly
cool.
like yours.
Exactly like mine. I like that though. I think it kind of helps be different with the Orks. Then we have a truck, rusted up, similar color. I like this. Anybody that pulls off the metallic look is great.
Love the rust buckets.
Yeah, for sure. Rust buckets, and that's the green. Now, I wouldn't say exactly like that, but my green is very similar to that green that's being shown here instead of the olive one. You know what I'm saying? He said, yeah, definitely run the Stompa though, dude. This kill rig looks sick. Yeah, I know. There was a bunch of stuff that I was showing on here that looks sick. That I'm excited that people sent this in. And they took excellent pictures as a whole. So let's see another chat. Let's see. Casey with his slick comments. Make Commando's battle line easy.
That'd be pretty sick. That'd make me want to play.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, no, I guess if you're going for a Blood Axe team, you could figure that out. But dude, there's still 135 points.
For 10?
For 10.
What's the max? Is it 6 or you can go? No, you can go over 6, right? There's no max on battle line? No,
it's 6.
6?
It's the 6 is the max for battle line. So I guess you can figure that out. You really could figure that out on the list, dude. It would matter everything else. He said you can give Mega Mob stealth and Dread Mob. Yeah, you can. And it was funny because my 20-man unit of boys, I gave them stealth as an enhancement, just because I had the points left over. Let's see what you guys got to say. Oh, we got another super chat from Fighting Fedora. Send you a pic of my Snaggy in Discord, not painted. Interesting. I've never put a picture in chat, but you do have a Snaggy. What the dude? This Snaggy. Oh my god. You know what? You gotta send this to me when you get it more done up, because I'm gonna put it in a hobby stream. It's gonna be the first one I put in there. That's fantastic. So thank you very much for sending that, and I'm glad you got an actual shirt so you can rock that with your crazy grot army. WAAAGH tactics, and it's just grots. It's like, all right, dude, you're definitely an Ork fan. That's absolutely certain. Now, I did actually love this conversion, guys, take a second. If you're not watching,
There's lots to look at.
this. There's a lot to look at here, and I have another picture.
Oh man! Oh, it's so cool.
Yes,
I
look
thought
at
it
this.
could get better. And
Hey, if you're sitting in here somehow an hour and a half in, and you are just somehow just looking at pictures and you haven't looked because you're just listening, take a second, pause it, look at this guy's cool conversion of his Morkanot. So he took a Morkanot, he made it have a funny little face and his tongue sticking out. That's silly. What I really like is all of the AOS squigs just making their way inside of him from the top. Then he actually has them coming in from the top, then being shot out of his main primary gun cannon. Dude, guys, this is super cool because he didn't convert it to the point that it's weird, it's modeled inefficiently, it's going to get shot easier, it's going to get in the way of an opponent, it's going to be offset from the GW style. Instead, he just said, I'm going to add a little bit of this, put some squigs in the model AOS models, and just put them all in the model and shoot squigs at people.
I'd buy that if it was a model.
Dude,
legit.
right? Dude, that's a legit, very cool model. Take a second, appreciate it. I loved it. And what'd you get into now, Nick? Oh, okay.
I'm starting on your war boss. I finished
Yeah,
one
I see
pain
that.
boy,
Yeah.
and now we're working on your war boss. And then
I'm gonna show that pain boy in a second. No worries,
go
put
to
that
the
chat up.
next one.
We got a lot going on here, and I'm excited for it. Shout out to Fighting Fedora for that crazy.
It's about them,
looking
not me. It's all good.
It's about
I'm
everybody.
just here to hang out.
Yeah, we're all involved, dude. It's the rise of the green tide. Orks are in a great spot, dude. There's so many things to talk about. The fact that we can talk about points, the fact that we can talk about 5 to 6 different detachments, the fact that we can kind of, it's not a happy point, but we can talk about the Legends model being changed. There's so much stuff that's going on with Orks that I think other factions would like just this much traffic of conversation and this much opportunity. So I always said be excited, but we're going to have to be even more excited the longer we go. So I look forward to see how the meta reacts to us. I mean, in my personal, slightly, more competitive, actual competitive team, they are literally asking what's up with the 120 boys. Now, some armies are like, I got this, no problem. And some armies are like, I actually need to tech for this. If you tech for 120 boys, you're not teching for bully boys. You're not teching for dread mob. Therefore, I think that's a strength of our Codex is that you're not teching for one detachment. You're teching for 3 to 4 different detachments, and that's going to mess people up, especially if someone like really cheeky gets out there and figures out the speed mob or that'd be crazy. So let me see what other chats we got. He said, so what are you saying over here, Casey? I see you. He says, I feel as if we're forgetting that we can run a few less grots and add another Stompa. Okay, so Casey just taking it the next all the way, dude. Yeah, you're actually 100% right because they're so freaking cheap. That's how a double Stompa list is going to look. It's going to look like all grots and maybe snick grot. Just because there's some of those secondaries that you're not going to be able to score unless you have snick grot and that kind of really elite list. But best be damned, guys. You're going to see me and you're going to see Kevin run double Stompas. And it's going to throw people on the back foot. And it's going to be super killy, super brutal, and super cunning. So don't be surprised in the rise of the green tide. Maybe I know what I'm doing wrong. Boom, there we go. Sorry, guys. I was clicking the wrong thing. I've never had a hobby camera, so I wanted to make it bigger so you guys can actually see how Nick's progressing this. Now, let's see what else we got going on here. So everybody's work is just awesome on the slide. This is what Orky art looks like. Whoa! Yeah, it does, dude. A lot of this stuff is really good. I love that Morkanot. It looks fantastic. And I love how this Pain Boy actually ended up looking, Nick. If you want to show it now that you're actually better. I like that Pain Boy. Very quick, very efficient. And that's how I like my models to look, guys. If you ever wondered, I like them to be purple. I like them to be a little bit of rustic, but orange. And I like them to have a nice bright green color. That's really what I like for them to look.
A lot of base colors with just little highlights.
Yeah, not over the top. Also, I like them to be done in somewhat a reasonable amount of time. If you're looking at me and you're saying, hey, that base is too small, I know. I'm going to upgrade it. Don't worry. Don't attack me. But yeah, And Alex, I'd appreciate those bits next time I see you. Hit me up in Discord, buddy, because I feel like you still haven't hit me up in Discord, even though I see you in person, and that makes me want to knock your teeth out. So there we go. I'm just kidding. Just kidding. Not really. So he says, yeah, and everything on the slide's fantastic. Let me take this chat down. Perfect. I think, yeah, it looks
There
great.
you go.
Especially with all the other stuff that's going on. Now, I want to hear what you guys got to say about the green tide. I see a lot of people in Discord talking about it, yet not a lot of lists being changed up in there. And I see people say it in Facebook, like, I'm gonna run a green tide. But are you really running the green tide? And if you are, what is it looking like? Where's it going? Let me know right now, because there's at least 30 of you. There's 40 of you at one point. What's up with your green tide list, guys? What's holding you back? What's worrying about you? What are you worried about? So let's see. We got Casey, awesome points. I love the face on the Morkanaut. And he says, I would love to see a Stompa, double Stompa versus a Mad Squighog Boys match. Max Squighog Boys versus Stompa? Oh. Now, this list really comes down to, are you running the strat? Actually, this is a perfect conversation for this, or topic, moment for this. Now, what I would say is there's been a little dispute here and there about big shells for bigger gits. They're saying based off how it's worded, I can see some TOs, some people saying rules as written, right? So very literal. You can run big shells for bigger gits and use them on any target, not just a vehicle target. So I'm pulling it up right now for you guys to see so you can read it as well, in case you haven't got your book yet. Oops, I closed it. In case you haven't got your book yet, it says when your shooting phase, one Mac, Walker, vehicle, blah, blah. Each time you use the stratagem, you can choose to push it, period. Until the end of the phase, each time a model in your unit makes an attack that targets a monster vehicle, add 1 to the wound roll. If you push it, add 1 to the damage characters of that attack. Until the end of the phase, range weapons equipped by that model in your unit have hazardous ability. So some people would argue that you could add 1 damage because you could choose to push it if you're targeting something that's not a vehicle or monster. Every time I've played this so far, I've never played it raw. I've always played it rules as intended, which is what I determined is you were just trying to shoot vehicles and monsters with this. Just wanted to point that out. If you're playing with friends, don't do that. But if you're going to an event, surely ask, because someone might be running it that way and some people might not. But yeah, I would say run it rules as intended for the most part, because I think that's what GW is trying to do. Even like that, you're still going to devastate people because you have D6 damage. Your super rockets have D6 plus, I think D6 plus 2 damage. You're getting blast on that. All of your death cannons are still going to be the one in the Squighog Boys, at least moderately decently with sustain. So the volume of multi-damage firepower is crazy. And if you could pull a charge off on the Squighog Boys and a detachment that they don't fight on death, they're getting swept up because you can choose to be damage 4 plus 2 strength and then plus 1 strength on the wall, and you'll be wounding them quite effectively anyways. But I would also say the volume they can put back into you as a Stompa will kill you. So it'd be a really good list. It really comes down to, can you slow down them enough to get shot up? Right, David?
Right. Yeah, I think GW is definitely going to clear this up. And I believe it's the second part of the stratagem is building on the first. Because if you look at it, says makes an attack, and then the later portion it reference the characteristic of that attack is referencing the same attack.
Yeah.
So
me too.
I mean, we'll find out what they really mean.
Me too, and that's why I've never played it that way. I've never played it that I could just use it on people, but I understand some people that are really raw, and some judges might face it that way. So just be aware of it. If some guy's in an event showing up, you choose to go in events, maybe cause it, but I would say friends, homies, casual games, don't do that. Don't big shells for bigger gets casually. It's hyper aggressive, and you still pretty much kill anything. And we get 5 gifted WAAAGH Tactic memberships from Wicked Joe. Whoa! Let's go, Joe. Really appreciate you. And you said you're in Vegas. I seen that chat earlier. What's going on with you in Vegas, buddy? Let us know what's going on. I want to hear. I want to know what you're doing out there, because you said you got there safely, so I'm happy about that. So 5 gifted memberships. Some of you guys, Casey, is you participating. Alex, you're now green, so I assume you're a runt. The Murder, Orky Tank Commander, Fighting Fedora. You guys go ahead and hopefully collect those from Wicked Joe. Get stuck in, become a green skin, because that's what we want to see. You know what I'm saying? So let's go. So all you guys that got them, we got Cheese Whiz, Manuel, MC, Charles. Where's the pants? That's hilarious. Fighting, you guys all got them. So let's go. That's fantastic. Put them badges in the chat. Them super the new emotes. So then we got guys. Oh, and also this green right here with the veins on the Death Tread on this Death Killer War Track looks fantastic, and the basing. Simple, yeah, very nice because you added that nice purple color, the gray background to not take away from your Ork model because it's metallic, and then the orange lighting in there. I like the green as well. Very muscular tones, very good tones right there in your muscularity. I appreciate that greatly. Thanks for sending that one in. Right here we have a mech gun that was converted. As you guys can see, you can convert a mech gun out of half of a truck kit sometimes. So this is mech guns. What I would say is these grots are wild looking. If you guys look at these grots in this picture, David and Nick, they're called gits. I feel like these are runts in disguise. To be honest, they're just runts. So I really like that picture a lot. And you can see he used the Ork truck, in my opinion, and some rockets and stuff to make these mech guns.
I like that red skin.
People will take a truck and make 2 or 3 mech guns out of it. Much more cost effective because right now mech guns cost like $60, I think, per mech gun. And the mech gun's only 50 points, so that's crazy.
I definitely cut a truck in half instead.
Definitely cut a truck in half and start making it. Murder Donkey Commando, you became a YouTube member. Let's go! Whoa! There we go. That's what I'm talking about. This one now. Put your badge and throw that little runt up in there. Let me see you get stuck in. Then we have a Gorkanaut in here. Gorkanaut, we have one on the side. I don't know if he's going to get to him today, but I'm looking around the Gorkanaut. It's just right now I'm really, really into the Stompa. That's just because I really wanted to try to take advantage of actually playing a Stompa. But Gorkanaut seems fantastic, so it's not a wrong choice. We have some more bosses in Mega Armor right here. These ones in the back, very thick, little more dynamic poses, running twin kill saws, and then an official GW War Boss in Mega Armor with yellow. Love that. Looks beautiful. Very appreciated. I'll leave that up for a second. And if David, you want to take over for a second while I go to the bathroom, just because. Yeah, real quick. And like David right here, they said. I'm pretty sure it's not written that way raw, but people can see it, and it does depend on the clause. And the clause of when and what's going on, there we go. So they aren't separated by a period or anything ambiguous. Exactly. And that's why some people will argue it. Mind you guys, it's not about what feels good or what, is the most balanced. When you're talking about rules as written, when you go to an event, people will use it if the judge allows them. And sometimes judges just treat it like it's a holy text, and they'll just allow it to happen regardless. Right, David? I mean, they'll know that it's harsh. At the same time, they'll let it be rules as written. So, David, if you want to take this, I got to take it. Use the bathroom real quick, guys. Actually, you call me out, Alex. You would chill.
All right. Let's see what chats we got here.
What's up, David?
What's up?
You doing all right back there all along?
I'm doing fantastic.
Sorry.
Just enjoying watching you paint.
Sorry, Eddie put you in the corner.
It's all right. You can't keep me in the corner. That's the trick.
You might be able to keep him in the bathroom.
He might be there for a while, actually. Yeah. All right. Let's see what we got here. Absolutely love this. Bad Mooney Mega Knobs. And then right here, you ain't a true Ork player till you put together a Stompa and a truck in the same day. Looking at you, Eddie. Don't worry. We'll send that message to him.
He's looking at Eddie in the bathroom.
Because I don't think he's built either. Oh, and we got Where's Gaz with the 3 months. It's the rise of the green tide and Mega Knobs. That's right. It's bully boy time, boys. And then I'll go back to the pics here. Give me a second to figure how Eddie was doing this. Nope, that's not it. Oh, here we go. And then, yeah, these are the Meganauts he was commenting on. Yeah, I love that he decided to use the yellow on some of these as a edge highlighting.
Yep.
It just kind of gives it a good look against the metal.
You threw some pink in the face. That's always cool.
Oh, right. Yeah,
Edge.
like
Highlight like the brows and the cheeks.
right on this one, it looks like a scar.
Yeah, yeah.
A little battle scar going in. And then we got here.
Tank Commandos? Oh, Tank
Uh,
Busters? Or there's like boys and there's
No,
like a
neither
Luda
kid
back there.
Yeah, I see a Luda.
Some different stuff.
Yeah, I think this is just for, it looks like, for painting contest. So it's just a mixture.
Okay, yeah, parade ready for school.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, you did good. Man, look
Like
at
that
this
blue orc, if
Yeah.
it is blue, yeah, it's like super saturated. It's
That's
pretty
awesome.
sick though. With
And
the golden gun, the blue orc with the golden gun.
Right. A whole army of blue orcs. That'd be something you don't see every day. 120.
Yeah, it reminds me of like, you ever play Goblin Commander on like PS2 back in the day?
No, which
They had
one
like
was that?
different color orcs. It was like a castle defense game. So you like
Oh, I
played
gotcha.
against like your friends.
Okay.
Pretty cool.
And Alex wants all that smoke because he's saying, I know he hasn't built anything. And he doesn't really hobby. No, I'm just kidding. He does. I'm too torn between blood axes and bad moons. I assume you mean as far as like a theme for your army. That's a hard choice. It really just comes down to what colors you favor, right? Bad moons are typically your yellow. Yeah, I don't know. I favor blood axes. I just like their theme, the way that they fight. The fact that some of them have bandanas or can have bandanas. So that's
Yeah,
pretty
they
cool.
got the cool like the beanies and stuff on the
Yeah,
models. That's
exactly.
cool. Just like some like guard wear. Imperial guard wear.
All right, it says can
Blood
even make it a
moons.
blend of the two and call them blood moons or bad
Bad
axes.
axes is sweet.
No, that's very creative,
That's a
especially
sick name.
now that the official Codex doesn't have those detachments anymore. So you could really just mix it up, and that's honestly what I love doing with my armies is just kind of customizing them, not
Yeah.
necessarily going. And there's nothing wrong with copying something you see either in the actual lore or in the Codex itself.
Yeah, just make it your own.
Yeah, I just like making it my own. Like my Space Wolves are a gray theme, and I also even like having different types of schemes within the units or
Okay.
within the army.
Yeah.
It makes it a little easier when you're playing to differentiate the units.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I
I've
don't
seen
know.
people like paint their bases different colors too.
Right. Yeah, you can go that way.
But to do armor, it'd probably look better.
Yeah.
To do different colored armors.
I like the idea of orcs being more of like a conglomerate of different WAAAGHs and clans and just getting together.
Yeah, that's the whole point, right?
Yeah, exactly. And everyone brings their own strength, and it's all beneficial.
Bad axes. That's
We
cool.
got another super chat from the Fighting Fedora. Why are orcs better than wolf beakies? Oh man, that hurts.
What are wolf beakies?
He's talking about Space Wolves.
Oh, okay.
Beaky-
I was
so-
like wolf croots or something. I didn't know.
No, beakies are a derogatory term for Space Marines.
Okay.
So he's talking about beakies. So,
Oh, like the salamanders.
yeah,
like
yeah.
Or
So
any of them. Okay.
would you like to take this?
Why are they better?
Why?
Well, I just learned what wolf beakies are, so I don't know.
The Space Wolves.
Why are they better than
Why are they
space
better?
wolves?
I'm not the best to answer this question.
Oh, because you're a space
I'm a
wolf
Space Wolf.
player.
Yeah.
Crap.
So it's kind of like an ongoing joke in the chat. That
Yeah.
They know I play Space Wolves, so they like to throw little jabs.
Mm.
Which
Yeah, I mostly play like sisters.
sisters. Oh,
yeah,
that's
so I'm kind of like, Are they better than wolf beakies? Eddie's not here to defend the orcs, man.
Sorry, guys. Yeah,
That's what
he's not
happens
here
when
to
Eddie's not
defend
here to
the-
defend the orcs.
I'm gonna say they're not better, and that's it.
Oh,
So-
shit.
Yeah, man, Eddie's back. We need to catch him up with a little bit.
What happened? What they
We
say?
just got another super chat.
Why are
here.
orcs better than wolf beakies, man?
Okay, I got something to say about that.
I had to learn what they were. I didn't know if they were like the new crude or something.
Did we say? Did we get the super comment too?
That is. Oh yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, is this fighting for door talking smack? He says, why are orcs better than wolf beakies? So, wolf beakies take themselves too serious just right off the bat, guys. Anybody who's always angry isn't having a good time, right? That's one. Two, if you need power armor to get stuck in, you don't really like getting stuck in. Okay. And three, what's the third one? Let's see. What was the other thing about Space Wolf that I know? I think those two options are good enough, to be honest. And the fact that there's more of us, just mass volume. So those are two reasons. We're having the most fun. We actually love to get stuck in because we don't need armor to get stuck in. It's just, a commodity. I mean, we'll use a rusty chopper and get stuck in, right? Space Wolves need some fancy power weapons and power claws and power fists and all these different things. The thing is, at least they don't wear helmets. So I give them that. And they don't, and like Paul Savage says, they're not green enough. Whoa, that's a proper one. That's another proper one. Other than that, Space Wolves are fine. They're fine. They're just not orcs. He says, based on warrior tier video. What is this? Oh, I did Yarick's Boys based on warrior tier list video. Okay, I see. What did he say right here with torn between blood axes and commandos? Did you
He
answer
was
that?
asking about his theme for his army, his paint theme.
Oh, well, that depends. Are you going to go, oh, you're going purple. This is using this right here. Murder. This is his stuff. If this is your list right now, I'd say go to this list. It's funny because you look very similar to my orcs because you're purple and green. I'd say do that because ain't nobody seen a purple orc before. Right?
That's right, man.
Dang, he said, hot take for y'all. I hate the Uftak model. GW did him dirty. Should be way bigger. Not way bigger, dude. He's just a war boss. Who do you think he is, Gas? What do you mean way bigger? He's already bigger than most war bosses. What I would say they did him dirty is they gave him 4 attacks like a normal basic war boss, and then they gave him some silly wounds with, I can kill a Titanic, kind of. I mean, I don't do any drastic damage. I kind of get death wounds. Like, Titanic? You couldn't just make it monsters or vehicles or something? Like, stick to the theme. I think they kind of missed on his rules, and I really hate that orcs only get 4 attacks. So I don't think it's as hot of a take. I think being bigger would just be a little odd. No? I mean, I could just bust them out right now.
Yeah, you do have him.
Oh, let's see him. I
I'm
don't
gonna
think
bust them
I've
out
seen
right
him.
now. You get them.
There's also some chats from Alex T up that you should probably look at about a truck and a Stompa.
Where's this at? Oh, I see people concerned about orcs as well. He says, my newest Green Tide list has 100 boys, 3 pin boys, 2 weird boys, Snick Rot, 2 Mandos, 1 battle wagon, a unit of Storm Boys, a big unit of Storm Boys on the board, 3 by 11 Gretchen playing it tomorrow. I think you'll feel better about scoring if you break up the Storm Boys units because I didn't see you brought like trucks, and trucks are normally what you use to score. The Gretchen, that 3rd unit, you might want to reserve it too, and then you can keep Storm Boys on a table and run around and do stuff. But if you're running 2 just because you want to advance and charge cheap stuff and buy it, I understand. Nick, do a side-by-side of Uftak in the War Boss you're holding right now because you can actually do a side-by-side with this camera. Let's take this off. I think that list is dope. Try that. Let me know how the commandos do because I know what you're trying to do with them. Let me know if that makes any sense. Oh, and we have Wicked Joe still on here. Let me get this so people can see. I wonder where we go. Oh, there we go. So this is the War Boss versus the Uftak. So you thought Uftak should be bigger than a War Boss? He's a War Boss. That's literally what he is by definition. If anything, he looks more muscular and less armor. His
They gave
hammer's
him a
cool.
bigger base though.
They gave him a bigger base.
He should
Now,
be a little bigger then.
you think you? Oh,
He should be
okay.
a little bigger than a
So
war boss.
Nick's
Not as
agree-
big as Gaz, but
Okay.
he
So
should-
Nick's kind of agreeing with you here, then, Alex. So you think because his base is obnoxiously huge, he should be bigger as well?
Yeah, he should be bigger for sure.
Because I'm gonna spoil some of the book for you guys. 5, 4, 3. Close your ears for about 45 seconds. 3, 2, 1. He does end up getting a concoction of juices as well as recovering from the poison that he ends up growing exponentially. But it never says he's bigger than a war boss. It does say he's on par with a Big Mech and Mega Armor, which is interesting, which means he is quite big. So, okay, I could understand the point on why you want him to be bigger. How about that? I could understand it. Nick makes sense. Now, what they did with the base was silly. They did that just because, for aesthetically reasons, his gun hangs over and it would look weird if he was on a tiny one. Okay, so I agree. How about that? I can understand that, Alex. I'm not going to say it was super necessary. I'd rather his rules make more sense rather than his size, because his rules kind of seem incoherent and odd. The best part is the deep strike, but okay, I can see
The
that.
war boss kind of looks bigger than him when you're comparing them.
You think?
Like,
Why?
look at the heads. Like the war boss head is bigger.
I think the war boss jaw is bigger, but the torso is smaller. Because remember, the war boss is wearing armor. This dude's straight up bodied up. Just look at it. You're thinking about the shoulder pads. You're thinking about the armor plate. If you turn them to the side, like a 90-degree turn on the war boss, he has armor in front of him. Uftak is literally just wearing a belt and a cape.
Right.
So he is bigger, but it's not as drastically bigger. His arm's a little bigger. His torso's a little bigger, but yeah, you're right. His jaw got changed, but that's also because the dude has a big old fake tooth, right? All right.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
It's different. I would say he could be a little bigger, and I understand that. You said purple and yellow or camo and yellow. Nick, that's on you.
Purple and yellow or camo and yellow. Purple and yellow for sure. Always purple.
Always purple, boys.
Always purple. Purple camo. Figure it out.
I do love purple, dude. He said, I love the purple of Deskalls, but I don't like them in lore. Oh, okay, you don't like
I was like
Deskalls
the
in lore?
what? The what?
Yeah, I would say I wouldn't like the Deskalls in lore that much either. I'd say they're all right.
It's mute. The sticky nuts.
What's happening? Oh, shoot. Let me change the background. Here we go. We got some more models from the murder. I like the blue orc, by the way. That's what I pulled out the second pick for. This is a very bright war boss in Mega Armor. Now, if we're going to talk about a model, I would say Mega Nubs have cool rules now, but this war boss in Mega Armor isn't, this Mega Armored Knob is not where I want to be. They look very boxy. They don't look dynamic. They don't look that threatening. I like that they're not that big, I guess, because they're easier to not get shot. But in reality, this guy needs a new kit. Argue with me about that. You guys don't think he needs a new kit? A kit? That's just not me. I'll disagree with you on that. I think he needs to look drastically different. The war bosses in Big Armor don't look that good, in my opinion. They're not as swole as they should be. They aren't as intimidating. They need the primariest quote-unquote treatment. Am I wrong? You guys think I'm tripping? Am I exaggerating here?
Oh, no, you're right. Super boxy.
Super boxy.
Yeah, I think they look like they came out of an assembly line. Like, that's how not orky they look to me.
These guys look like they should hit on 5s. I don't even know how they get any punches off, dude. Hitting on 4s, I understand that your arms are about 2 feet long and you can't move. So I think these guys are a little bit of a letdown. And the box price for them. GW, chill out. $70 for 3 Mega Knobs? What are you doing, dude? Trying to buy your way? You're trying to get us to break the bank to get full units. And I get it. But hey, chill out. He says, I love Warrior Tier. His Rogel Dorn was chilling. I don't know who that is, but I'm sure he's a great painter. Because orcs ain't furies. Okay, furries. Okay. Aggressive. Oh, and Ronan's back. Ronan 47 comics. Whoa, Ronan. Ronan's been a while. I see you. I love you, buddy. I'm glad you're back. I know that you were out doing some other things, playing some other games. That's all cool. He says, can't believe I left the sub fall off. What size are you at? Are you a boy yet? You should be a boy by now, man. You've been around for a hot minute. So thank you for being a member again, my git. I appreciate it. Oh, Bill, I ain't dead. He got to leap after very whoa. Okay, or bail out. Yeah, we'll see what happens with that. GW seems like they're very much in favor of not giving conclusive endings to people, and then being able to like, I'm gonna throw them back in here. Very Marvel-ish. I don't think I love that. But what I do love is this boss Nick Rod. So this is the new model. I still run my old model, but this is a new model. It looks really good. I like how you kind of move the foam around, the smoke around, and put it between kind of two crevices of rock formations. That's pretty sick. And just so you guys know, we're probably gonna go another, 20 minutes or so. So get any more chats in or anything you guys want to talk about, because it's been going for a hot minute already. And we're almost through the hobby pictures. And Nick's still going hard with his painting. So ask me any questions. I got my index up right here for some synergies. One thing I think I want to pull up right now, because I was talking to you, Alex, today at the shop, was that if you're running Bully Boys, for example, you can't benefit from the strats. Now, I know people are saying if you get a War Boss, yeah, I get my War Boss, I'm good. The War Boss gives you access to the second WAAAGH. He does not give you access to any of the stratagems. That means when you run Bully Boys, the only buffs you're going to get are going to come from your enhancements. So right here, I have the strats. As you can see, I'm not going to read all of them, but when you look at the target, it's going to say knobs, mega knobs, 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 knobs, mega knobs. For every single strat, it's only knobs and mega knobs. Now the enhancements, sure, because it says infantry war boss character, infantry war boss, infantry war boss, and mega armor. So these don't apply, but I just wanted to make that clear because we're talking about rules. When you go into making your Bully Boys unit, understand that you can't use the strats, right? And there's a shout out to this Snigrat. Looks fantastic. Here's a back shot from him. Very subtle. It should be that way. He's a sneaky git. He did a great job on the base. My git right here, double war bosses and mega armor. So you're the guy who got all the war bosses and mega armors, huh? All right, dude, because I couldn't find one. You know what I'm saying? You couldn't find one because of you, homie, and I get it. Oh, that looks great, though. I like how the paint boy came out, dude.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it.
I really do. Looks really nice. Let's see what else you guys got to say. Oh, I think someone's agreeing with me right now. That gets me excited.
Someone else.
He said, when I played BT, everyone had a helmet. Safety first. Black Templars? Dude, Black Templars don't wear helmets. You're tripping, dude. How dare you, WAAAGH? But you did get rid of that Black Templars army. Going off the lore from the last book. Okay. And I'm glad I kept my book. Shout out to anybody who's saying I don't want the Codex. I can get the rules here and there. I'll let you guys know as someone who I took my I'll just say this right now, that's blasphemy from Gork and more. I took my 8th edition Codex, I cut the pages out, I unbinded it, and I used it and put it in frames on walls. At first I thought it was super cool, and then as I got more familiar with the 40K as a whole, I realized I should have just kept my Codex as it was and really appreciated it. So now I regret doing that. Now, do I have cool posted up pictures of stuff from the Codex on my walls? Yes, I do. Do I still wish I had a full Codex? Yeah, I rather prefer that. So I would say keep that going, and read your Codex for that reason, because sometimes there's just lore in there. And shout out to these 2 double war bosses. I like that you changed their schemes too. I need me a war boss in Mega Armor. Another one. And that's why I got those AOS brutes, exactly. Because those normal war bosses in Mega Armor suck. And I'm fine with 3D printing, guys. But I like to have GW stuff if I can. And, one unit will be printed, 1 unit will be AOS brutes, and 1 unit will be legit war bosses. Mega knobs. That's very balanced to me, and I like that. He said he sacrificed the armor for more swag. Then he did pretty much. He just got so swole, he just took off. Because he was carrying Centurion armor in the lore, and then he got rid of it. Shout out to Daggers for this Beast Boss and Squigosaur, by the way. Look how crazy this guy looks. Crazy, dude. Crazy. You guys are looking right now. Beast Boss and Squigosaur. I think, is that a Mangler squig?
Yep.
And then he added legs to it, didn't he?
Yep, that's what we did with yours.
Yeah, but he added legs.
We did not add legs.
Yeah, adding the legs is a great touch because Mangler Squigs has some T-Rex arms for his legs. So this is a great touch. Interesting to make his Choppa look actually less high tech and less super killy, and it looks more slim spear dagger like, not dagger, but your dagger. This spear kind of stabby like. So that's very interesting. But I think what you did to his leg is freaking crazy. So I'm gonna leave that right there in case somebody else wants to get an idea from looking at that. You said he said should be as big as Primaris Terminators if that's the case. Absolutely, absolutely. At the very least, dude. Because right now they look like little box lunch bags and stuff. You know what I'm saying? And speaking of the AOS brutes, this is how they're gonna look, David. I'm gonna have the twin kill saws just like this, posting them up, looking different. I think I do like that guy in the background that you left with two-handed weapons. He's very unique. I might try to find a way to convert him to a War Boss and Mega Armor. So shout out to that. Looks like you're still working on them, but I like the conversion I can relate to. And right here, I really like this picture because our boy put the models in the actual rig. Like, what the heck, dude? You're just leaving them? That's risky living life on the edge right there, running around a tournament with your models hanging up the side of the kill rig. So very orky. I appreciate it. I see what you guys got. Wonderful psychedelics, David. Oh, psychedelics.
Wonderfully psychedelic.
Oh, she's wonderfully. Oh, okay. No, you're right. Sorry, I'm not kidding. Luckily, we got David here. You're right on the glow up for War Boss and Mega Armors in general would be nice. Yes, it would. But what GW might do here is have us buy all of the models out of stock, and then 2 years from now, run War Boss and Mega Armors new, updated, improved with Uftak as the leader. Yeah, you know what, guys? That's the best part. Is we lose some things, but you never know what GW can give us because we got this blessing of a Codex and Squig Hog Boy models. So going forward, guys, just be excited. Imagine we got our Codex this early with this much flexibility. We have 2, 3 years, maybe 4 years of having a great time with this Codex. So shout out to that, you guys. Everybody be excited. I'm excited, and because we got about so we got so much stuff to talk about for all of the days. I look forward to doing everything with our tier list video. Oh, he said bad enough. There's a Beaky. Now there's a David.
What? SOB?
SOB. Who's SOB? Who's that? Who's the Beaky, David?
SOB.
Oh, Sisters of Battle.
Oh,
I was trying to think of something.
I missed that part of the chat.
I
Hold on. So Sisters of Battle, what do you mean? Who was the Sister of Battle? Did I miss it?
I was saying that's what I had. My Army Sisters.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you do have the Sisters of Battle. They look crazy looking and unique with how you decided to paint them.
Thanks.
I think you just wanted to have crazy nuns. You know what I'm saying?
I like the nuns with guns, man.
Yeah, you just like the nuns with guns. And shout out to this Ork Rocker model, by the way. And thank you, Fighting Fedora, for supporting this whole time, this whole stream. It's been helping, and all you guys that are commenting, participating in the chat. It means a lot. It's going to be really cool when we do the raffle. So I look forward to all of that. And there's so much stuff going on with the Orks. Shout out to Brad Chester for sending me his Ork list with his Bully Boys. Eric Forsman, who's going to come out and do a cheer list video. Guys, Orks are looking so good. Everybody has their eyes on us. But I'm interested to see what does the meta do in response to us, right? Because they're looking at who's best, what detachment's best, and they're checking for that, which means what's second best might run up there and punch someone in the nose. Very impressive. Thank you for Fighting Fedora. Love it. Very generous. And we have, much love for the Green Tide. Yeah, dude, that's exactly what Nick's kind of working on up here. If you see him doing his hobby painting, he's painting up war bosses, pain bosses, because I'm trying to run Green Tides, and that's what I got. And the first thing I'm going to do is run straight into Alex's 24 squigs. No, I'm just kidding. That'd actually be a very bad matchup for this Green Tide because they actually have the punches and the durability to eat that. He said, who are you worried about with the new point changes? Nothing worried me because we didn't take really any hits. Took the Beast Boss. That's dope. The Squig Hog Boys are exactly where I want them to be when I start running them right now at 160 points. Beast Boss on foot coming down back to 20 points is fantastic. Flash Gits coming down 15 is really good. So I think Orks are doing really good. Knobs coming down 5. Mech Guns coming down 5. Bees really nice. If you run Mech Guns, run that Tractor Cannon. But if you're saying as enemies, I'm going to say right now, one thing I'm worried about with Green Tide is Grey Knights, because all their weapon profiles work really good into a bunch of hordes, boys. They get anti-infantry 2+ on their flamers. They get a bunch of storm bolters. They get power weapons that are damage 2 to have offset your feel no pain. And their dreadnoughts are still, even at T8, good enough for us on every turn outside of the wall. That's why my Green Tide list has kill rigs, because I'm trying to turn up the strength potential of the Ork boys so they're not wounding stuff on 6s. Because if I can get you on 5s, it's fine. If you're going into 6s, though, so I would say that's rough. So I think Grey Knights are going to be very strong. Necrons got away with just a little clap on the cheek, so they're doing fine. Chaos Knights losing some of their predators to be real. Leagues of Voltan losing some of their predators could be a real problem as well. Luckily for us, Tyranids didn't really get hit in a way that they can spam monsters like they really, really want to, so that's fine. I'm happy about that. So I would say Guard taking their nerfs, having a bunch of tanks could be a problem, but at the same time, they're going to be stacking on top of each other, getting away, and you can start tagging them. So it's kind of like I have to see it play out. One of the guys, shout out to Derek, I think he's either top 5 or something as guard players in the world that we play in our casual meta, and he did have to change his list by 160 points or so. Therefore, I have to see a little bit more of where they're going to go with this. But it seems like they're like, I'm just going to bring a bunch of Lehman Russes for cheap. That seems like where everybody's kind of feeling it. And I know Guard is just not worried about Green Tide as well. So I think Green Tide's a very much like 4-1, 3-2 kind of list and matchup. But I think Sisters of Battle is still tough. I still think our similar matchups like Chaos Knights are still going to be kind of tough. So overall, Orks are doing great. But we do have to pay attention to, well, David, earlier you said CSM, I guess?
Yeah.
Because David's been playing C against CMSM. So I guess CSM. I personally always feel good into Power Armor as an Ork player, but they're still good data sheet per data sheet and doing the dark packs. I'm a bit sad Beast Boss on Squigosaurus Beast Bosses. I'm a bit sad that Squig Bosses lost DD1. DD1. What is DD1, dude? Because they used to do
Is it a damage?
cheaper heroics. What? Is it a damage
thing? DD? I don't know.
No. Tell me what you mean by DD1. They lost? They lost the DD1? Do you mean just one of the like the Fielno pains? Because I guess I could get that. Oh, and 5 gifted WAAAGH Tactic memberships to ECOP. Whoa! Let's go, buddy. Always hooking us up. Always very generous. Always very helpful. I greatly appreciate it. That's very generous of you. And it means a lot to all the people who can newly join. Deadly Demise. Thanks, guys. I'm like, because sometimes on stream, guys, it just goes over your head. I swear. It's weird how the brain works differently. So his question was, bad enough. He said that he lost it. He was mad about that he lost that, David?
Yeah, I guess he doesn't have it.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't blow up anymore because he's not a monster. Here's what I would say, because you said that. I'm going to get back to the super chat. What I would say is, you know what's better than just losing Deadly Demise is the fact that you're not under the effect of monster, therefore anti-monster, anti-vehicle kind of data sheets don't work against you anymore, right? People forget that there's actually profiles that have anti-monster. And when you're going anti-monster, you know what doesn't have anti-anything in the game? Mounted. Boom. And now you're mounted. So would I rather potentially do 1 mortal wound, or would I rather not be susceptible to anti-monster, anti-vehicle things? Right, David?
Right.
So I think, yeah, that's thematically fun, but in reality, be happy you're not anti-anything in your list. Shout out to these Stone Boys. Mine look actually kind of similar to this, but they're purple, and I still have the Martian Moon base. Very bright, very vibrant, but you still have the rustic look on there, which I think is beautiful. And I'm pretty sure this is our last picture, or one of our last pictures for our hobby. And shout out to ECOP again. 5 gifted WAAAGH Tactic memberships. Let's see what you get stuck in. So he specifically wanted to show off this burner bomber, which I think is very heroic of him, because he's like, hey, I might not run this, but look at this stuff. It looks awesome, and it really does with those flamers on there. Really cool. And the rest of your army looks really good, too. I hope the rest of your speed wall gets on the table, you get stuck in, and you have a great time. Because some of those models are really, really nice looking as well. And you went for a thematic theme. And ECOP, there we go. Yeah, ECOP's always hooking it up, dude. He's always helping guys stay participating and growing our wall ever so and it helps a lot. So thank you a lot for all you guys that are participating, even the people just chatting, liking, commenting, people who watch this replay gang. Shout out to replay gang, gang. So we got Wade saying just finish another 10 knobs. So what are you at? 45? No, I'm just kidding. You're at 30. I assume you're now at 30 because I got 20 power calls ready to go. I do not have 30 ready to go. So maybe that's why I'm running like 10 plus 2 5-man units and war bosses as my war bully boys unit. But hey, man, 30 knobs is legit. I just wonder what else is going to be on your list. You've been into the knobs since we started and we talked about gas. So I feel like you're losing gas if you're going to bring 30 knobs in a bully boys detachment. It's just me. I could be wrong. But, only the future will tell. And shout out to this purple Stompa. What do you think about this setup, this scheme? He got grop tanks, kill cans, death treads, and a Stompa all purple. What's up with that?
That's pretty sick, man.
I think that's pretty sick. He actually pulled it off really well because he didn't go all purple, but he did do like dynamic, rustic, metallic, really interesting looks right there.
I always liked purple with orange. It's cool.
Yes, purple and orange is really good, which is pretty much what my army looks like because of you. So, and I try to mimic it, but it looks silly. So shout out to that. And then we have 5 gifted WAAGH Active membership by Michael Meyer. Whoa! Let's go, boys. We out here. And we're going to get off soon. So be sure to let us know exactly what you guys want to talk about, Michael. If you want to put in the chat in there, something you want us to comment on. I appreciate it. Anybody who sends your pictures, thank you very much. I went through the pictures that were sent to me. I picked up a couple here and there that were in the hobby chat. But make sure you at me. If you at me or you just directly send DMs to me, I'm far more likely to see them, reply to them. Sometimes I get overwhelmed. Sometimes I'm working. Sometimes I'm just clicking it and read it and I'm all excited and then I don't get back to it. So that's my fault. So sorry about that. And I greatly appreciate Michael Meyer. Very helpful. And I hope some of you guys get some of them stuck in and become a part of the green tide. Looking at you, WAAGH Day, with your 30 knobs, but still looking like a gray Hume. Well, thank you, Michael Meyer. Very generous. And I haven't seen you before. So that really means a lot to me that you jumped in and you were like, I got this. So thank you for getting us and supporting the boys out here. Shout out to the Purple Army because I love me a Purple Army. So right here we have, he says, Ronin is a very cool git. I hope I can get my first 1,000 points ready. Would be good to learn the basics with him. I encourage members to play with their neighbors. This is the best. Whoa, yeah, play with your neighbors, or if you don't have people near you, play on TTS. Get a good understanding, and I think you should definitely be open to playing 1,000-point games. Why? You have to become efficient with your data sheets. You still have to play to score. You're not just trying to straight up kill everything. Sure, the guy can bring something super killy, but you can just play every other part of the mission and throw up the points, right? And so that being said, run 1,000 points gives you an excuse to run the hunt. You know what I'm saying? And that would be actually pretty great. So very, very nice. Oh, and you're right, WAP. I'm going to make sure I get on there right now. Actually, I'm going to get on there right now. How dare I forget the most exciting picture that I was the most excited for. Guys, I got a cool picture for you. Brought to you by WAP himself. Wapo himself, guys. And this is something that was creative. It's because you sent it to me a while ago, and I didn't save it directly to my computer, and now I'm going to. So, guys, I'm doing this right now. Wapo, I got you, buddy. Well, yeah, I got me because I'm the one who wants to see this. I wanted to show everybody because I don't think I left people seeing this from what I've seen. So yeah, David, is there anything? Well, how do you feel about the Ork Codex, David? I really asked you. Even though we talk all the time, how do you feel about the Ork Codex? Besides it's good or it's cool, like, what do you like? Does it intimidate you a little bit, or what's going on? Or is it just straight up cool? Like, I want to know the truth.
I'm loving the flavor. I think there's 3 viable options, and we'll see how it plays out in the meta. But the fact that you can run, Horde of Boys or Elite Mega Knobs and Knobs, or your Stompa list, you run that. It's really hard to be prepared for 3 different types of archetype. So I think that's really cool. As a player, I would really enjoy that.
Right?
Crying Admac to have multiple
He
options.
said crying Admac, goddamn.
Yeah, but no, it's a great codex. This is I don't know. I mean, maybe a little too early to say this, but probably the best codex that's come out in 10th edition.
I think it is the best one.
It's not like overly abusive. Like I said, you got some flavor and some options there.
I think it's very much the best one. Not just, and here's the thing. I was saying a lot of the time when we were talking about this, guys, going into the Codex coming, that I very much thought that our Codex was going to look like the Tyranid book. Right, David? I think I said that a lot of times.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I said it's going to look like a lot like the Tyranid book, where GW really considered our flavor and how our army looks in lore. And they're going to try to go with that. And they did. They really much did. But Orks have even more flavor than Tyranids because we have personalities. Plus, we have more data sheets. I believe we have more data sheets than Tyranids. And for that, GW was like, don't worry, guys, I got you. And it really ended up paying off. And I'm super excited because as the meta adjusts, even if things get toxic, even if things get super powerful, we'll be able to run a bunch of different stuff and try to keep up with the meta, even if we only stay at like a, reasonable strength level, which is exactly what you want to be. Because, guys, we're thinking about how it looks right now. How it's going to look 2 years from now, right? I mean, we don't know how this will be another edition. How's it going to look years from now when there's all the books out with all the different detachments and you're still running your early book codex, which a lot of the time people looked at codexes that came out early as weak. No, David? I mean, like they've seen it as inferior, right?
Yeah, it's on the PC. You can insert it from the PC.
Oh, I tried. Sometimes it doesn't allow it. Watch, I'll show you. So yeah, sometimes the codexes that come out early first come out really awesome, and then they just fall off the side of the world, and then they're trash, and then nobody's happy about that. For example, what book was it when the Necrons came out? Was that 9th edition, right? 9th edition, right? That the Necrons came out and they were trash, like after a while, because people were like, "Oh, they're the first book," and then they just lost all their power level.
Yeah, that was 9th edition.
It was, right? Yeah. And I don't think Orks are going to end up like that, which is, I think, what excites me, because we can kind of ebb and flow with the power creep that might end up coming into play. Does that make sense? Because that's really where I think Orks are going to end up. We're going to end up in a cool place where we'll be able to run any and all of that, and it's going to be really cool. Let's see. We're going to have a new folder here. Don't worry, guys, right now I'm setting up what I wanted to set up. Show this one specific model, and you'll see why I'm a little biased towards a specific model. We'll say it's creatively the most unique or new to us. I think I just did it again twice, David. But yeah.
Can you just share the screen of pictures?
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's say what David right now, because we're gonna do the tier list video. Now that you've tried a little bit against the Orks, do you think Dreadmob's just kind of like a meme, or do you think it's legit? I want to know what you think.
No, I think, well, depending on what you're running, but I think Dreadnought is definitely legit. It's got the shooting stratagems that you need just to hit those targets that you want, ranging from vehicles to elite infantries in that T6, T7 range. And then what really surprised me my first game against him was that you could get the extra damage in melee. Because that's just another threat to worry about. It's not just about shooting. But I can't just run up to you and be like, okay, I just got to tag this guy and make sure you can't shoot anything else on my list. It's like, no, because if you fight with him, he's going to kill you too. And yeah, the way that you mix it in with boys, just to kind of cover some of those weaknesses where you don't want to give a direct lane for someone to charge up into your Stompa, possibly dwindle it down before it can be impactful the next turn.
Yeah.
So the 20-man boys is a nice touch. And, if you watch that seminar with Stephen Pampring, you can learn these advanced tactics to tag, to swing around, and use that extra movement in the fight phase. That's honestly, after playing that list, that's what revealed to me another hidden strength to make up for some of that weaknesses. That's
a really good point, because even though it didn't happen to affect our game because I failed my 6-inch rerollable charge to do that like swing I was trying to do, the fact that you can keep people off the primary objective in that manner and really throw yourself into them and be like, all right, dude, I'm going to mess you up right here. Watch this. All I got to do is roll. this good, and I'm touching you while you're behind your terrain piece. Oh man, it feels really nice. Of course, I did actually move out and away from the unit that I wanted to charge. So I used that seminar that I talked to you guys about myself with the 20-man unit of Ork Boys. And it allowed me to really play down and double down on my strength of my Stompa, because you needed to shoot, in my opinion, 3 times before you can let it die. Otherwise, you're just not going to lose a game, in my opinion. Or you're not going to win the game. So, yeah, now, here you guys can see why I brought WAP list pictures into this. He custom built our logo into a orc knob on his own. Look at this, guys. He put the headband, he put the vest on them, the power claws, the gun. He's sweetheart, very unique, and I appreciate it. And yes, WAP, you're a legend, buddy. You're a legend. I was excited about this. I even showed my girlfriend. I showed everybody. I was like, check this out. So, oh yeah, he says he brings 20 max. Okay, Wade. I feel you on that. 20 is where I think you want to be. He says reliable Overwatch. You mean, what do you mean? You want reliable Overwatch, or you're saying there is some reliable Overwatch? I would say the Stompa gets no Overwatch because it's Titanic, just so that people know. And if you're playing, let's say you're new and you're trying to use your Battle Force box, it used to Overwatch, which was amazing. If it could still Overwatch, that would hurt people. But, you know, here we are. I think flash kits are still like kind of all right Overwatch units, but in reality, Luda's plunging fire, ignore light cover, boom, you can Overwatch someone and really just destroy them with them weapons. Oh, Nick, someone said you're making a lot of progress. Said, dang, boss, you're making a lot of progress. Yeah, that's one of the things I wanted to show out here is, you know, we're showing Nick, is that he paints that quickly and effectively. This is with him talking, dealing with us, not knowing what he was going to paint, and just coming out here and just getting it done. So that's actually just pretty awesome. I remember I dropped off 3 buggies to him once, and he had all 3 buggies ready to go in like an hour and 20 minutes. It was ridiculous. And my buggies look amazing if you ever seen my Discord. So I'm not just saying that because he's here. I've actually shown this to you guys. So
thanks, man.
I'm not making it up. So he goes, Antonio Benilio says, oh, shoot, I made it during the live stream. This is a super long live stream. I'm glad you made it. A lot of people go, you know, on Fridays and go do stuff. So I'm totally friends with the Rewatch gang. But whenever you guys show up and get to participate, I need it. And I mean, I appreciate it. He goes, bro, I need to send you the good. I'm 10-1 with my tide list. Oh, shit, you already run 10 lists with your tide list. That's awesome. I love that. I've been running, dude. I've just been honest. I'm like, man, I'm gonna need some more. Gosh, what are they? For the bases where you just put a bunch of the bottles in there. I'm having to brainstorm. Movement trays. I don't know why I'm filling the game. I have a bunch right next to me. I need a little bit more movement trays for the boys. I need to just orientate and get up to my 120 because I think I got 100 straight up painted right now. I think 100 might end up being where I be when I make my list. But moving all those models, finishing in a reasonable amount of time, that's going to take practice, me get back up to doing that again. So right now, I'm just enjoying playing the Stompa, taking advantage of my 20-man units, run up, and just getting stuck in. It feels really good. Like I said, how often is Stompa playable, guys? How often? Hardly ever. So I'd like to try to do it. But Green Tide is very appeasing to me, as that's how I started 40K. Old gas, 90 boys, boom. That's how I started 40K. Let's go. Oh, someone has a question for you, Nick.
What's up?
Read it.
Just realized, why are you painting the air boss?
Got you.
What does that mean?
You say you can't see a purple orc, homie. Let's go.
Shit.
Be sure that Sisters of Battle doesn't flare up this on that orcs. Okay. Hey man, he's yeah. Pull up the list. I think he's flare it up, make it girly. I'm not sure what he means, but Fighting for Dora is on you for being a Sisters of Battle, my boy. So keep it up with the orcs. Oh, and John, no, dude, you're not bothering me at all with your suggestions. Of course, always suggest what you guys want to see, guys. This is very much a community type of channel and stream and everything we're doing. It's orcs don't get enough love from GW. They don't get enough love from the competitive scene. We're all spread out between painters and competitive players and kit bashers and custom designers. In reality, we all got to come home to one place, and that's why we call this the Great WAAAGH, because a WAAAGH is a conglomeration of orc players and clans and war bosses, and that's what we're all doing here. So don't ever feel bad about making a suggested video. But he said maybe a video where you break down lists for each orc detachment, why you pick those units, and how you plan to score and win with those detached units. It's actually a very good suggestion, and we actually do have that in our upcoming list. So, I mean, in our videos, we were waiting for the points to come out because I wanted them to be accurate. And I'm glad I waited because people made tier list videos or list videos, and they included grot tanks, or they included not knowing the points and the changes. So I wanted it to be relevant, and I wanted it to last at least 3 to 6 months before I made those videos. So I'm going to be doing it, and I'm happy you're here too, buddy. So thank you. Even though in reality we'll be getting off soon because we're at 2.5 hours. So I just finished up with some of these chats. As you can see, Nick's actually finishing up too. He got all 3 of the characters done in that quick amount of time, while us talking and him participating and talking. So that's really cool because I know I'd still be doing the first guy. Antonio, he said he went 44 by 20. Okay, so you're only going for 80. Okay, that's a little light in the booty for Green Tide, buddy. But hey, you're 10-1, and I'm sure you figured it out. 2 wagons probably keep them from getting diminished, and then you can run up and pressure people. I think I'm running 100 boys right now on my list. He says I own 1,400 of boys. This Snaz wagon dead weight, kind of a splash for 2,000. If I don't get a brick of flash hits, I got a kit bash the Sisters Reventure with novitiates for ease. Reventure break with Sisters topic. Okay, so you're trying to run the Sisters. I think Sisters are cool. Repentures are fine. Overall, though, Orks pick y'all up, boy. Strength 4 with high volume punches. I'm just chewing through all them little power armor 1 wound girls. So, no, shout out to the Sisters. They're cool looking models, but I'm a big fan of the Green Tide and the Horde. I guess Sisters can pretend to run a Horde, but hey, it is what it is. So, guys, we're going to get off here soon. So get in your last comments before we get off. WAAAGH, shout out to you. I appreciate the checkers. I appreciate War Boss Eddie. Here is your oof talk yourself that you painted up. The orange squig is a nice twist. That's what I was going to say about your oof talk. I didn't see that coming. Him kind of like an orangish reddish color. Very cool. Your Bad Moons theme, very cool. I don't know what that is next to oof talk. I think there's like a 2nd edition Killacan. No? What is this thing next to oof talk? Yeah. He's either an old Dreadnought or
looks like an old Dreadnought.
Yeah. So that's very cool.
That's sick.
That's why I picked this picture, because I wanted him to be there. Very cool. I appreciate it. His name is War Boss Eddie. Let's go.
Yeah,
so thank you.
That yellow on the skin's really freaking cool.
Yeah, it is. Let me see if I can swap this up. So, you done, Nick?
Oh,
so show off your final products before we get off the stream. The final what you got to get done while doing a hobby stream, while answering my questions, while yelling while being distracted by my loud talking. What's going on? So here's the War Boss. Let's go. He looks way better than the War Boss I painted. The War Boss I painted looks like a toddler took a crayon to it. I'll just be honest with that. And I like the checker pattern. That's a nice twist, homie. That's pretty sick. I like that.
It's not perfect yet, but it will be.
It doesn't have to be perfect. It just has to be orky, right? All it has to do is be orky, and that's good enough. Oh, he said that's an old runt bot.
A runt bot?
Runt bot?
I never heard of runt bot.
What the heck? I want to pull that back up.
What year?
What the heck, dude? That's an old runt box.
Like 2000?
What? And it does have a runt there on top. You can see the Gorgonaut gun behind that. It's kind of funny. All right, what else you got there, Nick?
Just him and your paint boss.
Let me see the paint boys. Let's go. Let me see the paint boys. This is my theme. If you guys ever wondered, orange a little bit for the rustic look, purple, and then nice bright green skin all around that. In my opinion, it looks really good on the table at range, at a distance, and I like that because you want it to look like a Green Tide. You guys always hear me yell, "It's the rise of the Green Tide." That's why I feel that way, because the Green Tide is a big deal. So, thank y'all for that.
1996 Forge World model.
It's a 1996 Forge World model. I was
90s,
dang 4 years old when that model came out. One more shout out to WAAAGH for that one. Look at that. Very unique, very different. Right there. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah, he's a really unique, cool looking model, dude. Wow. Yeah, he called it French Forge World Runt Bot. Yup, I run it as a killer can.
It's hard to look at.
That's crazy, dude. It's hard to look
So
at.
much checkers.
It's so much checkers. All right, guys.
So
Well, we're gonna get off here soon. 2 hours 30 minutes. That's a good hobby stream. We got 30-something pictures. If you submitted one, I appreciate it. I almost missed it with WAAAGH, but he jumped in here and saved the day at the end of the stream to show it off. Thank you very much, buddy. I don't know how I almost missed that. Probably because I read that message so many times it got lost in the sauce. But thank you guys very much. So remember, send your stuff in. Our boy Murder was out here sending his stuff in, and he's a new player. 6 months. Not intimidated, no fear. None of you guys should have fear because they're orcs and we don't feel fear. And shout out to Nick for getting those models done. Now, because of that, you guys will see I will be running the green tide and running people over because Nick was able to get it quick. Maybe about 45 minutes per character from start to finish. And you can put his little banner up again, Nick. Show us what's up with you in case anybody wants to hit you up. Because here's the thing, guys. Sure, you can go to a professional super studio where it's going to take 6 months to get yours and you're just going to be aligned. Or you get your orcs done in a super fast amount of time, get your army battle ready and take it to an RTT because that's how Nick be. So keep that in mind. And this isn't just because he's my homie. This is actually me telling you guys for real because orcs are hard to hobby on, guys. So sometimes you might need that help. And Nick will be the best help you guys got.
Yeah, you guys can just hit me up if you need help with like schemes or highlights. Or
yeah, he's in our Discord too.
Did that soup guy ever hit us back?
He's in the no, he didn't tell us the underbellies. No. But Super Soup, you better, and he's in the Discord. So Nick's in the Discord too. The guys if you ever bring on here, guys, they're in the Discord, so you can continue conversations, picking their brains. Because remember, a WAAAGH is a conglomeration of war bosses. So it's not about me and David just running up and being like, "This is the best," with my nose up in the air. It's about all of us being together and making the most efficient content, and making the most sense and appealing to guys like King Rorix. Love your context, guys. See ya. Thank you, buddy. I appreciate it. And I love all you guys. You guys are very helpful and made us, this go on longer than we expected. It was very exciting. I'm glad that nobody's disappointed about the points. And I hope I encourage some of you guys to play your Stompas and you're getting from your Battle Force boxes. The Ludas, that comes down to your terrain. So you guys will know if you can run that. But that Stompa is legit. Run that Stompa. And if you're going to run the 20 boys, there's a chance that you could hypothetically put the new mech with the 20 boys and then run him through like enemy models and you really get weird swings going. So maybe that's a thing too, but we can talk about that more as the meta adjusts. So thank you for Nick. Thank you for David for this camera. This is the first time we got a hobby camera set up. That looks pretty cool. Right. Upgrading, boys.
Thanks for having me, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, it was good. I like that the chat immediately nicknamed you. That was hilarious. Chris Angel's right up the bat.
That means they like you.
Yeah, that means they like you automatically.
Shave my hair next episode.
For sure. All right, guys. So we do these once a month. We stream every Wednesday and Friday. So look out at tier list videos. Next week, we're going to have a member of Team America, Eric Forsman. I'm sure he's going to come out with the super heavy meta stuff. And then I'm going to tell him how a mech is cool with boys, and he's going to laugh at me. I don't care. So there's one more thing to keep in mind, guys, is don't cross our wall because we not get teeth out. And look out for our 3K raffle.